Welcome, everyone. Oh, man, we're getting ready to go live on the radio right now. We got a lot to talk about. I'm going to talk about the fizzled bust of October surprises that the Democrats thought they had that turned out to be big nothing burgers. We're going to talk about that, and I got a whole bunch more, too. So all right, showtime.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, yes. Welcome, everyone, to the program. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 45 years on the radio this year. Oh, man, we've got so much to talk about today. Over the next 3 hours, I have so much to cover. I have some incredible audio throughout the program I'm going to get to. But, you know, the Democrats' October surprises... The October surprises have just fizzled out. They've all been duds. They have 2 October surprises. Both of them have not panned out. One of them, which I'm going to talk about here in just a couple minutes, is the Herschel Walker accusers. The white woman who said she had an affair with Herschel Walker and that he forced her to get an abortion. She gave an interview where she showed herself. I'm going to play that interview and give you my analysis of it coming up. So don't miss that. We're going to do that shortly. In fact, that's what I'm going to start with this morning. But the Herschel Walker, they have 2 October surprises. One is the Herschel Walker. That has helped Herschel Walker. Not only has it helped Herschel Walker, it's helped Herschel Walker a lot. Okay? And as I go through the analysis of the interview with the woman, the white accuser, who was with Gloria Allred yesterday, you'll see what I mean by that. So that's one October surprise that completely fizzled out on them. The other one that fizzled out on them, this was great. The other one that fizzled out on them was the January 6th. You know, if you watch liberal media, MSNBC, the Clinton News Network over there at CNN, they're all about January 6th. And that's not what people care about right now. People are not voting based on that. There are 2 things on the ballot: empty stomachs and empty gas tanks. That's it. And Biden's America is an impoverished America, and things are getting worse. That's what people are. So their October surprises both have fizzled out. They got nothing. Now, that's not to say that they may not come up with another bit with the Herschel Walker story. I don't think they will have much that'll move the needle at all. But the blue flush, the red tsunami, is on its way. And it's exciting. Today is Wednesday. 1 week from today, I'll open up my mic and we'll be giving analysis live on the air of what happened the night before, and it's going to be beautiful, people. So let me first get into the Herschel Walker accuser, okay? Now, the second accuser, yesterday I was talking about this. She had not been identified yet. She didn't come forward. That she was keeping her identity secret. She came out and gave an interview sitting next to Gloria Allred, which just being with Gloria Allred is enough to discredit the woman right then and there. But she showed herself, and I was right by the sound of her voice. She is white, and she gave a very lengthy interview about Herschel Walker. And I'm going to play it for you, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and my analysis of it. But I want to tell you this, okay? And I'm going to tell you this right out the box. Even if everything Herschel Walker is being accused of is true, and I don't believe that it is, but if everything Herschel Walker was being accused of is true, I would still support Herschel Walker. Wouldn't you? I mean, listen, we're talking about something that happened 30 years ago, maybe. right? We're not even sure it happened. Maybe it happened 30 years ago. So let's say that he took a woman or two to get an abortion 30 years ago. Let's just say that happened, which we don't know that it happened, but let's just say for the argument. That was a long time ago. Think about this. 1993-ish is when this happened. That would be like in 1993 holding someone accountable for what they did in 1963. Or in 1963 holding someone accountable for something like that they did in 1933. Okay? I mean, there's so much time that it's meaningless, okay? But even if it were true, so what? Are we going to turn over the Senate seat, possibly to the whole Democrat Party, okay, to someone that wants to give abortions to everyone? That would be the Democrat warnock? Of course not. It's ridiculous. You know, the Senate is in the balance, and there are other people that are on the ballot that we MAGA people aren't that crazy about. J.D. Vance, for example, he's being celebrated today because that town hall on Fox. J.D. Vance, sure, he had a great night last night. He's saying all the right things. J.D. Vance is going to be another Mitt Romney. He's going to do nothing but upset us for 6 years. That's it. I mean, and when Trump is back in 2024, J.D. Vance will be undermining him probably and won't be supporting him. I expect that. But we need the Republican seat in the Senate because we want to have a Republican majority in the Senate. So a lot of these little issues like this, we have to overlook them because there's a big picture here, right? There's a big picture we're looking at. So and I'm sure there's some others. A lot of people don't like Dr. Oz. I get that too and understand why. But we need these seats to be Republican. So a lot of things that used to be a big deal just aren't. So let me get into this. So this is the Herschel Walker White Accuser. This is the second accuser. And let me just read this here. A second woman who said Herschel Walker pressured her to have an abortion came forward and spoke to Good Morning America yesterday and revealed herself. She said he left her feeling like she had no choice after telling her that she and the baby wouldn't be safe because of his wife's family and powerful people. Herschel has denied the accusations. Okay, so she gave the interview. Let's go through this. This is the second Herschel Walker accuser, the white lady who's with Gloria Allred from Good Morning America yesterday.
I've kept this to myself for 30 years. I protected him, and I wanted this to remain private for obvious reasons. When I saw the first woman come forward a few weeks ago, he immediately called her a liar and said, I never sign anything with the letter H. And I knew I had many cards from him where he signed the letter H. And so I believed then that she was telling the truth. We saw each other several times a week, usually in the mornings. And we saw each other before games, home games, away games, that kind of thing.
Jane Doe shared hotel receipts from that era.
Okay, now this part here, this is her. Now I want to ask you some questions about this, and I do want to take some calls on this Herschel Walker White Lady Accuser. And I have a lot of other things we're going to touch on too. This is just one of many topics that I'm going to touch on today. Very busy day of news. But I want to ask you a couple questions. One, do you believe her? Two, do you care? Even if it's true, do you care? Would it change you from voting from Herschel Walker? Would you no longer support Herschel Walker over this? Now this next part, she has hotel receipts. And they showed the hotel receipts from 30 years ago. Who keeps hotel receipts from 30 years ago? Who? You know who? People that are looking to blackmail people. That's who.
Home games, away games, that kind of thing.
Jane Doe shared hotel receipts from that era, and a voicemail she says is from Walker after he went to the Olympic Games in 1992.
He often told me in writing and every time we had a conversation how much he loved me and how much I meant to him and that I was who he wanted to be with. He was very clear that he did not want me to have the child. And he said that He said that because of his wife's family and powerful people around him, that I would not be safe and that the child would not be safe.
That's very menacing.
It is very menacing. It is very menacing. And I felt threatened, and I thought I had no choice. He came to my house and picked me up and drove me to the clinic. And I went in alone, and he waited in the car while I went in and had the procedure. Everything shifted. He distanced himself from me almost immediately. I told my parents that I had miscarriage because I couldn't tell them the truth. Yeah, and I told a few friends the same thing because I couldn't tell them the truth.
Okay, that's it. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you believe her? And does it matter 30 years later? Are you not going to support Herschel Walker because he might have paid for an abortion or two 30 years ago? By the way, she's a homewrecker. She was involved in having sex with a man who was married to another woman. 888-GO-CANE-1 is the number. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back.
Don't sit.
Give me a break. Give me a break. I don't believe her. I don't believe her. I think the whole thing, you keep hotel receipts to blackmail people and things. And how do we know that those hotel receipts are even her staying at a hotel with Herschel Walker in there having sex and all that stuff? How do we know? Let's see here. I got so much to do today here. Let's see. Where is that story? There we go. Okay. By the way, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And everyone, like the video. Yeah, tell me yes or no. Do you believe the woman? Yes or no? That's the first question. Yes or no? Do you believe her? Yeah. I don't have receipts from 30 minutes ago for my cup of coffee. I saw someone said yes. Everyone else so far is no. I see one yes. Everyone else is no. And and that's the whole thing with this. People don't care about that anymore. There's bigger fish to fry. We're reshaping the Republican Party. Oh, wait a second here. We got a new special on My Pillow.
Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back.
Hold on. I got to get organized here. I'm not so organized. I was on the phone talking with Steve before the show instead of setting up.
800-953-1788. 800-953-1788. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. On the air since 1977. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. Oh, man, it's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Oh, man. Our number 1-888-GO, Kane 1-888-465-2631. Do you believe the white lady accuser and her claims against Herschel Walker, and does it matter? You know, part of what this is, they're back in this old mindset. You know, I was talking yesterday on the show about how we don't have a Christian evangelical political leader like we've always had or we used to have in the past. And, you know, the people that are running the Democrat Party are old, right? Pelosi and Biden, they still think it's the 80s. And they think that this talk of an abortion will do us in. That, oh, no, they're not going to vote for him because he might have paid for an abortion 30 years ago. We're in a different phase right now. We're still strongly pro-life and have our beliefs about that. But there's a big political shift going on here. And we're not going to let something that might have happened 30 years ago get in the way of that. Now, I'm going to tell you, there's an incredible new special right now at MyPillow.com. Now, go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, okay? K-A-N-E at checkout. And take advantage of all the specials there with our promo code and do all of your Christmas shopping there. My wife and I have already started our Christmas shopping at MyPillow.com. And all the MyPillow products I have bought myself using the promo code Kane, except my first pillow. My first pillow, it was after that they became a sponsor of the program. So I paid full price for my first MyPillow, but I've gotten the discount on everything else. Now, there's a new special. You know, I'm not sure if you all know this. Mike Lindell now makes MyPillow coffee. It's called My Coffee, and it's very, very good. And there's an incredible special right now. If you go to MyPillow.com, you'll see it right there. Save up to 50%. And, you know, the Mike Lindell My Coffee comes in whole bean, ground, and even the K-Cups for the Keurig. And with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, save up to 50% on your My Coffee. You'll see it right there at MyPillow.com. And get this, you get a free Go Anywhere pillow, the Travel My Pillow. You get for free with your purchase when you use our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. So, and I know you guys, it's the morning. I know. I'm going to order this coffee today. As soon as I get off the air, I'm ordering it. You guys can order now. I can't order it now because I got to take out my debit card, and I don't want to do that on the YouTube camera. But if you go to MyPillow.com, save up to 50% off Mike Lindell's My Coffee with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And you can get a free Go Anywhere, the Travel My Pillow, but you got to use the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. Now, I just want to say one or two things on the Herschel Walker accuser, and then I'm going to move on to the next topic. I got a lot going on, so you're welcome to call in. I'm going to move through the issues fast here, okay, because I've got so many. But you are welcome to call in about anything I bring up throughout the show today, okay? So, because I'm going to be bringing up stuff really super fast. One last thing, though, on the Herschel Walker accuser. This is helping him, and it's going to help him a lot in Georgia. You know, I've spent a lot of time in Georgia. Georgia, of course, borders Florida, and my wife and I have friends in Georgia, and I've always known people in Georgia. And I've traveled to Georgia so many times over the years for different things before I was married to. And, you know, Georgia has a very large black population. And one thing I've noticed about black Democrats in Georgia as compared to black Democrats in other places around the country is they're not as enraged as leftists are in other places. I don't know why that is. They're more reasonable in Georgia. I don't know if it's that Southern living and people, you know, are more relaxed in the South. I don't know what it is, but I do know this. That when someone who is popular and is a good man like Herschel Walker is accused of something like this, especially, you got two white women out there, Gloria Allred and this accuser who's now letting herself be seen. This woman is a white woman accusing a black man of violating her body. The violation is forcing her to get an abortion. And as I told you guys yesterday, there's a long history, a sad history in the South of the Democrats lynching black men. And when they did it, oftentimes they did it because a woman accused a black man of doing something that he didn't do. That's the way it is. You know, Davie Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale is now Reuben Stacy Boulevard. Reuben Stacy was one of the last black men lynched by the Democrats in the South. He was lynched on Davie Boulevard back in the 30s by the Democrat sheriff of Broward County at the time. And Reuben Stacy, I did a whole research paper on the lynching of Reuben Stacy when I was in college. So I know a lot about it. I even have a file somewhere at home in a closet. I did so much research. I went and read the newspapers from the 30s and got all the articles over the years and did all kinds of research. But Reuben Stacy who was a Republican, was lynched by the Democrat sheriff of Broward County. And the story was that he had assaulted a white woman and she told him so. They thought that justified the lynching. And a lot of people in the South, in Georgia, even though it's north of where I'm at, and Ron DeSantis is free Florida, it's the South. And believe me, black people understand what's going on with this lynching of Herschel Walker. They had that high-profile trial with those 3 white idiots that went out and, remember, they shot that guy, that black guy with the shotgun? That was in Georgia. This is a lynching. Not all lynchings are with a noose. Tarring and feathering is lynching, okay? Back in those days when they used to do that, that was considered a lynching. This is a lynching of Herschel Walker by the media and 2 white women, Gloria Allred and this woman making this accusation. And knowing a lot of Georgians, I don't think they like that too much. I think this helps him. I think the wagons are circled. I think there are people who are going to vote for Herschel Walker that may never have voted for a Republican in their life because of this. And I was listening to someone yesterday. I can't remember who this was, but it was online, and someone said yesterday, it was a conservative, I can't remember who though, because I was watching and listening to so many different people, that what the Democrats are doing is they're making Republicans. They're actually making Republicans right now. They are, by their failed policies and their rhetoric. And you know what? People are ticked off about it. They are completely ticked off about it. They are making Republicans, and that's a good thing, okay? We want more Republicans. We want more Republicans. So this is their October surprise that has fizzled. Now, something happened on MSNBC yesterday that I believe should have someone fired. And I don't say things like that very often. Nicole Wallace, did you hear what happened on Nicole Wallace's program yesterday on MSNBC? I don't have enough time to play the audio before the bottom of the hour break, but I'm going to play the audio. I've had to add a bleep to it because of the language. Something happened involving the great and beautiful Carrie Lake yesterday on MSNBC on Nicole Wallace's program that is disgusting. It's disgusting. And there should be consequences for this. What went out over the air on MSNBC yesterday and the reaction of Nicole Wallace is beyond common decency. And I'm going to play you the audio after the bottom of the hour break. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You will never hear me criticize nor disagree with President Trump. I say that with pride, okay? Not that he's done something I disagree with that I'm hiding from you all. He hasn't. Everything he's done has been perfect in my mind. But you'll never hear me disagree with President Trump, ever. It'll never happen. And I'm not embarrassed to say that. I got a great shirt on. A listener sent me this shirt. It's a shirt with Donald Trump's senior picture in the military academy on it. We'll take our break for the bottom of the hour. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss this clip from MSNBC. By the way, guys, I know some of you guys send me stuff. The mailing address for the radio station has changed because they're moving me to the corporate headquarters, so I changed the address. It's no longer in Boca. I'm still in Boca, but we're moving. So I changed the address in the description, just so you guys know. By the way, welcome to our new members. I'm sorry, I've been charging my iPad, so I have not seen who all the new members are that have joined. But welcome to the new members. Yeah, related to George Wallace. Yeah, you would think. I mean, this happening is something like I've never seen before. Never seen before. This is something similar happened on MSNBC many years ago, and the person that did it was fired. But I'll get into this when we get back from the break. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, and everyone, please like the video if you have not done so already. Let me see here. Let's see. I know I got so many things to get into today. I don't like to move through issues fast. I like to take my time, you know. But there's too much has happened that's got to be talked about. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting what they're doing. This is the worst I've ever seen the Democrats. It really is. It's the worst I've ever seen. I just gifted 5 memberships, and they're randomly awarded to people. You don't have control on who you give them to. So some of you guys, 5 of you just got memberships. Viking Warrior, Teresa, Laura Butler, Tina, Jeff Davis. You just were gifted memberships, so you now have the emojis. So welcome, guys. Yeah, now you have access to all the member emojis. Yes, welcome. Oh, you're very welcome, everyone. Oh, man. It awards them randomly. I can't control who gets them, so don't feel slighted. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Have you all liked the video? Dummy Funnies is not me. That's PJ. Are you talking? Is PJ in here? All right. That's all my topics, Mike. William, new member, welcome. Welcome, William. You've got the emojis too, and then you get your name in green so you stand out. Would you like, Wookiees, this feed? Thank you.
IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative, and their clients that qualify are saving thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion in tax.
All right, we're getting ready to come back now.
Tax help you need or tax help you can trust. Call Optima now for your free consultation. Call 800-953-1788. 800-953-1788. 800-953-1788. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Brooklyn will never do a repair on your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all
Yeah, if you want to become a member, you just click the join button. If you use an Apple device, mobile, you have to go on the desktop. Like, that's what I did. When I gifted those memberships, I went on the desktop version on my iPad. So, you know, you got to use the browser version, not the app, if you're an Apple person.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show.
Celebrating 45 years on the air.
Oh, yes, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. I'm going to get to this Nicole Wallace moment yesterday. That show went so far over the bounds of common decency. I've only seen it happen once before, and the last time it happened, it was MSNBC as well. But before I get to that, you know, there's a lot of controversy about the Paul Pelosi incident. People are saying, you know what people are saying. I don't have to tell you. And we've got the media and everyone else telling us that, well, what you're hearing in the news and the speculation isn't true. None of these things are true. Underway Studios, welcome as a new member, by the way. Well, there's a way to let us know what really happened. Release the video. We got information yesterday that not only is there video there, but there's a lot of it, and it's done by the Capitol Police, so it's high-tech video. You know, if someone if everyone in particular, but if someone was out there publicly saying that I had invited a gay prostitute to my house and it went south, what do you think I would do? What would I do? If everyone was saying this, and it was all over the national media, and I'm not talking about Paul Pelosi, I'm talking about me. If everyone was saying that I had a gay prostitute over to the house, it went south, and he hit me in the head with a hammer, do you know what I would do? I would have already done it. It would have happened days ago. I would have released my doorbell camera footage from the Sloman's doorbell camera. It would be on YouTube, it would be on Twitter, True Social, I'd have it on Facebook, and I'd let everybody see the video that this guy broke into my house. And it was a violent break-in. I wouldn't let everyone in the nation out there talk about me inviting a gay male prostitute into my house. That's crazy. You know, the doorbell camera from Sloman's, it's absolutely amazing. You know, it has a motion sensor on it. You actually get alerts when there's someone at your door, even if they don't press the doorbell. It has night vision, so you can see perfectly at night. Two-way audio. You can talk through the doorbell camera with people outside. Even if you're not home, I can do it from my phone right now here at the radio station. You can even unlock your door from the app when you get a doorbell notification on your mobile device, and you get live video that is archived day or night. And I would, without a doubt, have that video all over the place. Say, look, he broke in. You can see it happening. But they're not doing that. Now, listen, you call Sloman's. I'm going to give you the number. Mention you heard about them on the radio, and they're going to tell you how you can get a free doorbell camera. It'll change your life. It makes you more safe, more secure, but it's also convenient because most of the time I use it because we got a delivery at the house. DoorDash, Amazon, UPS. There's someone delivering something at the door, and I can see who it is. And I don't have to run to answer the door. I can always see who's there, even if I'm in the bathroom, right? So call Sloman's. Here's the number. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. They'll tell you how you can get a free doorbell camera. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. Okay, so MSNBC's Nicole Wallace. Nicole Wallace claims to be a Republican. She worked for John McCain. She probably was the person who did all the negatives leaking out of the McCain camp about Sarah Palin during the '08 run. And she had on her show yesterday Michael Fanone. Is that how you say his name? He's the DC cop from January 6th that has the blackout tattoo on the neck. And a blackout tattoo, when you have a blackout tattoo like that on your neck, you're blacking out something that you don't want people to see. And it's usually one of two things. It's either the name of a girlfriend and your wife doesn't want to see it, or it's something racist that you're covering up. And I've never seen someone get to the bottom of what is underneath his blackout tattoo. And you know, photographs got to exist of this guy before he had it blacked out. Do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. So he was on with Nicole Wallace, and there is a very sad commercial that the Democrats have running. It's the mother of the Capitol Police officer who died of natural causes. And of course, they're accusing Donald Trump and MAGA and Carrie Lake of killing him. Carrie Lake wasn't even in politics when January 6th happened. So this is a segment on Nicole Wallace's show. The bleep I added that you'll hear towards the end, but I'll tell you what he said. So this is the Nicole Wallace segment, MSNBC. And does it start with the mother? Did I keep the mother in it? Okay, yeah, okay. So this is the mother whose son was the Capitol officer who died of natural causes after January 6th. It's the end of her commercial. And then you hear Nicole Wallace introduce the D.C. police officer with the blackout tattoo, Michael Fanone. Listen to this.
My son died because of people like Carrie Lake.
We're back with Michael Fanone and Congressman Eric Swalwell. Michael, is that hard to watch? I know these are people we've come to admire and we've followed their stories, but these are your friends and colleagues.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've gotten to know Mrs. Sicknick pretty well, and I thought that was a powerful ad. I mean, she's out there, I think, trying to do what all of us are trying to do here, which is bring accountability for January 6th. And, I also support the fact that Carrie Lake's a piece of so I'm glad she did.
Okay. Now, what this former D.C. police officer, he said that Carrie Lake is a piece of S. Yeah. I added the bleep in. What he actually said when he said she's a piece of S, the whole word went out live over MSNBC. And this is an afternoon show. And listen to Nicole Wallace's reaction to this.
And she's out there, I think, trying to do what all of us are trying to do here, which is bring accountability for January 6th. And, I also support the fact that Carrie Lake's a piece of so I'm glad she did that ad.
And no one is going to say that you haven't put it all out on the line in the bluntest terms possible.
Wow. Yeah. Nicole Wallace laughed. Okay. That is so far beyond common decency. He should be forever banned from being on MSNBC. And I'll tell you, there should be some discipline for that. When you're doing a live show, I don't know if they have a delay, but we have a delay, and you guys hear how often I have to dump things. There's some things you can't let out. There's some things you don't let out over the air. That's something that doesn't belong. And to talk that way about a woman, and they just think it's funny. By the way, you know who else was on that panel? Eric Swalwell of Fang Fang fame. And he was smiling and laughing at that very moment. I wouldn't let anyone talk about a woman like that on this program. Use that kind of language, it would not be allowed. It would not be tolerated. And I certainly wouldn't be laughing at it. And to use that language, he used the whole word. Remember, I added the bleep. This happened, something similar to this happened on MSNBC many years ago. I cannot remember the name of the guy. He was an Englishman, and his claim to fame was that he had interviewed Princess Diana in that no holds barred interview where she told everything about Camilla, and he also did a very strange interview with Michael Jackson. Do you remember who I'm talking about? I cannot remember the man's name. And he made a similar comment about Sarah Palin. This was back in the 2008 era, and he made a comment that someone should go to the bathroom on her face and urinate in her eyes, and he was very graphic about it. And he was fired and run out of America. He was fired by MSNBC. And now this happened yesterday? I've never heard anything like this on TV. He's talking about the great Kari Lake.
Bring accountability for January 6th. And, I also support the fact that Kari Lake's a piece of so I'm glad she did that ad.
Wow. Martin Bashir, by the way, someone in the chat room on YouTube told me that. Martin Bashir is the guy who said that about Palin. What do you think should happen to Nicole Wallace and this cop with the blackout tattoo on his neck? 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Callers on hold. Stand by. Back after this.
The Cold.
I want to hear your thoughts on this. Call me on the air about this. I've never heard something like that before. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. I've never heard something like that on television before. Talking about a woman? I would not allow that. There's no way in hell I'd allow that. That is so far over the line. By the way, Underground Tactical Solutions, I want to thank you as a new member as well. I missed you earlier. Sometimes I don't see everything that happens in the chat, guys, so don't feel like I'm leaving you out. I was surprised to see him on MSNBC because I thought he was like a paid contributor to CNN. Did they loan him out? Steve Kane Show. Hold on.
And were able to reduce their use of oral pain medications.
For pain, I use Salonpas. It's good medicine.
It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot on your ceiling, you have a leaking roof.
Oh, man.
In the Kane household, we call Tom Laporta. He's the best in the business. Remember, small leaks turn into medium leaks, and medium leaks turn into big problems. Call licensed contractor Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. 954-604-4602. And tell him
Hi,
Steve
what
Kane
clock are
sent
you
you.
using?
Listen, what time is it?
Last two commercial breaks you went out 10 seconds early.
You know why? I had the delay off. That's all. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'll have it on. I got it on now. Steve Kane Show. Hey, PJ. Oh, my goodness. The delay's on now. I had the delay off because I wasn't taking calls. And I took the break 10 seconds early, the last two breaks, because I wasn't taking calls.
Do you suffer from neuropathy? I did, until I went to Lighthouse Medical Center in Pompano.
Oh, man. Do you guys know who Carrie Young is? Who knows who Carrie Young is?
Muscle weakness, loss of balance, muscle twitching, have all but disappeared.
Anyone know?
Say goodbye to your neuropathy symptoms. Call Lighthouse Medical Center for a free consultation. 754-222-6642.
For all your printing needs this holiday, Staples has you covered.
Yeah.
Custom printed holiday cards.
Yeah, that's
Kind of business.
Staples has you covered. It's beginning to look a lot like
showbiz. That's right. It's all showbiz.
Without spending an arm and a leg.
Staples has you covered with personalized holiday cards and invites. And now save 40% on custom holiday cards and invitations. For everything you need printed, go to Staples, the working and learning store.
It is. I mean, you don't talk that way about a woman. A man's different.
Warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the
Yes, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. There's only one opening on our very busy board of calls. I'm sorry I've not been taking calls so far, but I will take calls in just a moment. We'll go to the phones at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. I'm heading back over to Dr. Philip Appleton. He rid me of knee pain 2 months ago, and now I've got a pain in my mouse clicking finger. We used to call this the trigger finger, but I've got a pain in the top knuckle. I guess the top knuckle here. I guess you only have one knuckle. I don't know, but in the joint, in one of the joints of my. I'm not a doctor. Dr. Appleton's the doctor. I dropped anatomy in college, okay, and took earth science. It was much easier learning about clouds than it was all the anatomy, you know. But it's true. It's true. But I got a pain in my finger that hurts like a son of a gun, and I'm going to head over there. I'm not sure when, because I got a lot going on right now, and I'm very, very busy. But it doesn't matter because walk-ins are welcome at Dr. Appleton's. You don't need an appointment, and he's open on Saturday. I'll probably go in on Saturday. I'm going to try to squeeze in on Friday, because I know Steve's going in on Friday, and I don't know if he'll use laser away pain or another thing he's got over there. I'll let Dr. Appleton talk about it, but laser away pain works on any joint, and this is a joint in my finger that, as I'm moving it right now, is in massive pain. I don't know how I did this. I don't know if I jammed it. I don't know if I'm using the mouse too much, because it's my mouse clicking finger. It's the left clicker on the mouse finger, and it's really painful. It really is. But I know Dr. Appleton will do for my finger what he did for my knee, rid me of pain with his laser away pain system. And it's a free consultation if you mention you heard about him on the radio. His number, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710, and online, AppletonChiro.com. Give him a call, stop in, and say bye-bye to your pain like I did with my knee, and I'm going to do with my mouse finger when I get in there this week. All right, we're going to go to the phones. Let me play the clip in question one more time, and then I'll go to the phone calls. This is Nicole Wallace's show, MSNBC, yesterday. She had that D.C. cop with the neck blackout tattoo. My guess is there's something racist under there that he blacked out. That's typically what people black out. And the first voice you hear is the mother of one of the Capitol Police officers who died of natural causes after January 6th, but it's a Democrat commercial blaming Kari Lake, who was not even involved in politics then, with his death. Listen, and listen to what this D.C. cop, Michael Fanone, calls the great, wonderful, beautiful next governor of Arizona, Kari Lake.
My son died because of people like Kari Lake.
We're back with Michael Fanone and Congressman Eric Swalwell. Michael, is that hard to watch? I know these are people we've come to admire, and we've followed their stories with these for your friends and colleagues.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to know Mrs. Sicknick pretty well, and I thought that was a powerful ad. I mean, she's out there, I think, trying to do what all of us are trying to do here, which is bring accountability for January 6th. And, I also support the fact that Kari Lake's a piece of so I'm glad she did that ad.
And no one is going to say that you haven't put it all out on the line in the bluntest terms possible.
Wow, there you go. And Nicole Wallace just thinks that's cute, thinks it's funny. All right, what are your thoughts? 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Ben from Pompano.
Hey, Ben. Wow. Huh? I added the bleep. He actually said the words. I added the bleep. They went out without a bleep on MSNBC.
Yeah, I know, and that says a lot about both of them, but he is exactly what
Could be arthritis.
Kari Lake
it's this joint right here. It hurts all the way underneath.
He is so attached to
right there.
Beating the January 6th drum because other than that, he is so irrelevant.
Well, that's what he does for a living now. He's got his pension and that.
And not to mention, he's a little D.C. prep school brat. His family, he doesn't come from working class roots. His family are very well.
Really?
Yeah, he's not the working class hero. This guy's he went to the Maryland prep school or something.
I did not know that.
Last time I checked, he was like, he's not this. And the Democrats love that because it's very rare that they get like a bad boy who's like also a lib. Like they get a bad boy with tattoos, he's a police officer. You think.
Yeah, but that blackout tattoo on the neck, 99% chance there's something racist under there.
Well, you don't just put a blob of disgusting, that it looks completely, incongruent with the rest of your body. It's there for nothing. Like usually, they want some sort of art-like beauty to it, and then if you just put this blob to block out something that's underneath it, yeah, I mean, it's definitely something he wants to hide. So who knows what it is? But it doesn't. I mean, the MSNBC fawning over this guy who really is, he just can't let it go. It's like most voters do not care about January 6th anymore. It's like they are blowing it up into this.
Well, that's one of their 2 October surprises that just fizzled, right? The Herschel Walker and January 6th. And I saw today that President Trump had said his legal team are negotiating for his testimony in front of the January 6th committee, and they're all excited. Well, yeah, but he's going to be testifying in front of the MAGA Republican January 6th committee, not this one, not this kangaroo committee.
I know. They have nothing, and that's why I thought it was so weird that the media, just drew out the Pelosi story for so long, and then I listened to Steve Bannon the other day, and he's like, this is their closing argument. They have nothing that they can point to in their track record. So, January 6th, Paul Pelosi, abortion, nothing that they've actually done over the last 2 years, but these, issues that they're making.
What do you think should happen to Nicole Wallace and Michael Fanone to say that about a woman on television?
Yeah, it's disgusting. Carrie Lake is a good, decent human being who's articulated her views very clearly about January 6th. She's not a violent person. She's never called.
She wasn't even in politics at that point. She wasn't there.
No, I know. It's insanity. I mean, they don't care. They're literally just making an ad and saying, support Carrie Lake, support January 6th, even though there's no connection whatsoever. But what I think should happen to Nicole Wallace, obviously, I think she should have been fired a long time ago, but that's not going to happen because, she's obviously within the circle that, agrees with her. They all think like this, so nothing's going to happen. But Nicole Wallace is a dirty, she is the perfect example of the most disgusting excesses of modern journalism.
Mm-hmm.
Partisan, she doesn't care about the truth, she will sympathize with someone like this, but, totally disregard someone like David Dorn's wife who lost the woman who lost her husband during the 2020 riot.
Well, what about our service personnel who lost their lives during the botched withdrawal from Afghanistan by Biden?
Oh my God! You think that would get? They've been talking about January 6th for 2 years. They haven't even talked about that for more than after it happened. There was the wake, and then they don't talk. Even I was thinking about this the other day. They talked about Paul Pelosi for more media days than they did the Waukesha killer.
Yeah, Waukesha.
Waukesha.
Yeah.
It was out of the news after 3 days, and so they drag out stories.
Now let me ask you another question here. Now, if the entire country were speculating that I had been beaten almost to death by a gay prostitute that I allowed into my house, don't you think I would release my doorbell camera and let people see the house getting broken into and have it on my YouTube channel so people wouldn't think I was hiring gay prostitutes to have sex with in my house when my wife wasn't home?
Say something. Yeah, let me tell you something. If you have irrefutable evidence that completely exonerates you unquestionably, then you would get it out there immediately, throw your hands up and be like, see? There's no other, logical explanation to holding something unless there's more, that it would raise more questions than settle answers. I mean, yeah, I think that is weird.
Yeah, and they confirm that there's video. They confirm there's video because the Capitol Police have a permanent live feed all over the home, so the video does exist. Freedom of Information Act requests, I'm sure, have gone out for that now.
Right, and now the FBI is taking over it, and what that means is they can keep it completely, covered up because now it's under investigation, and the feds have it, so they can be very opaque about it. And so, yeah, of course, if you had evidence that could just shut down all the rumors, but they don't want to do that because they want to use it for.
Well, it makes me think that there's some truth. The truth is always somewhere in the middle. And there's something that they don't want us to see in that video, or it'd be out already. They released all the January 6th footage. That was no problem, the Capitol Police. Why not the Pelosi break-in, if it really was a break-in?
I'm sure has something to do with the, where we are in the election.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Something
There's something they don't want us to see. There's something they don't want us to see.
You said it the other day. It's one thing if you have an event happen to you, but if trouble keeps finding you, you're usually the common denominator. And Paul Pelosi, in 2 months' time, he has all this crazy stuff happening.
When I was a young guy, I used to get in trouble all the time here in Fort Lauderdale, out with my friends. When I was new in radio and was young and all this, all my friends were at different radio stations. We doing crazy things. And I don't get into crazy trouble anymore because I'm a married man. I'm home at night, Yeah, exactly. But Paul Pelosi, he's going through that 82-year-old, final chapter crisis. When the wife's away, he goes out and gets into trouble with the cops. This is the second time he's had a run-in with the police in the last couple of months when Nancy's been on the other coast.
I know. And you know that they're like the king and queen of San Francisco.
Oh, yes. We just don't know which one gets which title. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. Now, listen, huge special from Mike Lindell at MyPillow.com right now. Call us on hold, stand by. We're going to take our top of the hour break, come back with your calls. But, you want to do all your Christmas shopping at MyPillow.com. Huge savings with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. But there's a first-time special that has never been at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane. Mike Lindell has his own coffee brand now, My Coffee. It's great coffee. He spent a long time researching and finding the best coffee. His coffee comes in whole bean, ground, or even the Keurig cups. And if you go to MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, you can get Mike Lindell's My Coffee. You can 50% off. It's better than that, though. 50% off Mike Lindell's My Coffee with our promo code Kane, Kane. You also get a free Go Anywhere My Pillow, the Travel My Pillow. So you get the free Travel My Pillow, the Go Anywhere My Pillow, and 50% off Mike Lindell's My Coffee. But you've got to use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, okay, at MyPillow.com. And I know you guys are coffee drinkers because it's first thing in the morning. All right, call us on hold, stand by. We'll be back with your calls after this break. Okay? I'll be right back, guys. I've had 3 bottles of water this morning, and I got an IV treatment yesterday, so I am like the most hydrated man in town. And I've had to go to the men's room for like half an hour, and I didn't get a chance to go during the last break, so I've been suffering for the last 15 minutes.
WNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good day, everybody. Here we go. Middle of the week. The heat continuing, 86 to 88. The range this afternoon. We'll see partly cloudy skies and just a slight chance of a fast-moving shower. I'm WPB Off 25 First Warning Meteorologist Sandra Shaw.
Follow Oldies 95.3 at 96.9 on social media. See what's happening in the community. Have a laugh with some funny memes. And keep in touch with other good time Oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies. Traffic check.
In the Palm Beaches, the major expressways are still moving very well between Boca Raton and Jupiter. No accidents or delays. All overnight construction has been cleared. We do have some ongoing road work in West Palm along Southern Boulevard eastbound at Kirk Road. 2 left lanes are blocked, but so far there is no delay in the approach. We have some light traffic on Okeechobee Boulevard eastbound coming out of the Acreage. Same for Jog Road north and southbound passing Atlantic Avenue. And we also have some light traffic.
Man, there's only one opening on the board. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, and everyone please like the video. No, in radio, well, first off, there's radio stations have a bathroom right outside the door of the studio, okay? And so, for the on-air people to use. And the first thing you learn when you're on the radio is to pee faster than anyone has ever peed before. Radio guys can urinate faster than any other group of people on the planet, because you got like a 60-second commercial or something, you know. It's true. It's true. Talk to anybody that works on the air in radio. They should have a speed pee competition for broadcasters. It's true. It's true. No, I'm serious. That's true. But no, radio stations are typically built with coming back.
Steve Kane Show.
All right, we are back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. If you're on hold, stand by. So a lot of things we've talked about today. This one here, for those that are just tuning in, I'm going to play this clip one more time, then I'm going to go right to the phones. And I got a lot more to get into. Steve will be joining us at the bottom of the hour. So the Capitol cop, Michael Fanone, with the blackout tattoo on his neck, covering up something he doesn't want us to see. He was on with Nicole Wallace on MSNBC. Apparently CNN loaned him out. I thought he was a paid contributor. And they loaned him out to MSNBC to do some MAGA bashing because they're so panicked over the great Kari Lake. And the Capitol Police officer who died of natural causes after January 6th, his mother made a commercial for the Democrats blaming Kari Lake, who wasn't even in D.C., blaming Kari Lake for her son's death, the Capitol Police officer. You'll hear her in the beginning. It's the end of that commercial. And then the bleep I added, what he said, which I'll tell you at the end, was not bleeped out. The words went right out over MSNBC's air. Boy, oh boy, this is what NBC News has become.
Very Young was a supermodel back in the 90s. She went out with...
Oh, no, that's the next one we're getting to. Oh, that's a good one, too. Hold on. Here's the one I did the setup for.
Very Young was a supermodel.
It keeps playing that one. Here we go.
My son died because of people like Kari Lake.
We're back with Michael Fanone and Congressman Eric Swalwell. Michael, is that hard to watch? I know these are people we've come to admire and we've followed their stories, but these are your friends and colleagues.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've gotten to know Mrs. Sicknick pretty well, and I thought that was a powerful ad. I mean, she's out there, I think, trying to do what all of us are trying to do here, which is bring accountability for January 6th. And, you know, I also support the fact that Kari Lake's a piece of so I'm glad she did that ad.
And no one is going to say that you haven't put it all out on the line in the bluntest terms possible.
Okay, yeah, he called her a piece of S, and the whole thing went out. I bleeped it. All right, let's go to the phones. One opening on the board at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. PJ. Hey, PJ.
Yeah, hey, how are you doing? Listen, I was going to, I was wondering, that's what I was calling up about the, why would the Capitol Police hire somebody with an ugly neck tattoo? But your previous caller, I think, gave the reason on Fanone's background. I've been checking it. He was absolutely right. I'm looking at Wikipedia. He's from the D.C. area. Describes his father as a lawyer at a large law firm. He attended Georgetown Preparatory School.
Oh my goodness, that sounds expensive. Georgetown Prep sounds expensive.
Yeah, and even also expensive is he also attended a boarding school in Maine.
Oh my, what is he, a Kennedy?
Yeah, so he's hardly so what I think happened is, I'll bet you normally the Capitol Police wouldn't hire somebody with a neck tattoo, but because of his family background, they hired him.
And I'd like someone to find, some photographs of him before he got the tattoo blacked out on his neck to find out what he's hiding.
Yeah, because, why it has to be something bad, because there's no way you're going to make your ugly, neck tattoos are already kind of ugly, no matter what's on them. Even if you have a good day, just to see it on the neck. But for it to be so bad that you got to cover it with another tattoo, that makes it look even worse, just like a big splotch. And it has to be something really bad. It's something he desperately doesn't want people.
Well, it typically, I remember once we did a show on many years ago, we had a tattoo artist come into the radio studio, and someone had a tattoo that there was a guy that we worked with at another radio station years ago, and when he was a young man, he was in a motorcycle club, and he had a swastika tattoo, and it was something he just was shameful. And Steve, as a good Jew, set up this tattoo artist to come into the radio studio and craft it into something else to get rid of the swastikas. Usually that's what people cover up. Sometimes they cover up girlfriend names because their wives don't like to see some other woman's name. But most of the time it's something racist or anti-Semitic that they get blacked out. Well, there's got to be pictures of him where you can see it from the past.
Yeah. I'm just not a big fan. I mean, I used to be in for about a year. I was actually in the a temporary tattoo business, you know, which I can understand. Is after 2 weeks it's gone. To have a permanent tattoo, I don't know, of any kind, to me is ridiculous.
I've gone to get tattoos a couple times, but I'm too indecisive. It's too permanent. I was going to get a tattoo. Oh, I thought I was talking. I was going to get a tattoo of a wedding ring on my finger, and I went to get that, and the tattoo artist said, "Don't do that; it'll fade on your finger." So I didn't do that. But I don't know. I'm too. It's too permanent of a decision.
Exactly. Well, I heard. It was kind of funny. I was sipping my coffee, watching you on YouTube, and all of a sudden, boom! I heard somebody bring up Dummy Funnies, and then I heard you mention my name.
Yeah, Dummy Funnies is PJ's YouTube channel, which is a pretty good YouTube channel. Yeah, I don't know. It came up in my chat room. Yeah, I think somebody saw a video of me on your channel, and that's what they were asking me about.
Oh, I see. Hey, you know, I'm going to have a big announcement on my Dummy Funnies channel. I think you know I sent you a message yesterday, which, by the way, something to do with Dummy Funnies. But you know what? I found out about that just as I was going into it. I went into an operating room yesterday where they had to stick 10 needles into my neck.
Oh my goodness, 10 needles into your neck.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's not as bad as it sounded. It was just to make sure. It was on my lymph nodes. They found a couple of nodes that were a little big. They didn't find.
We're a little. Well, I'm glad they didn't find anything. We're a little off topic, PJ. But hey, listen, thanks for the call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's Lisa in Texas.
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, listen, this whole thing with the bad word that he used, and speaking about Carrie Lake, I mean, we had a thing at our dinner table growing up using proper decorum, and that is something that is lacking in the left in every way nowadays. They just don't have the proper manners anymore, and it's part of the breakdown of what's happened to the left in the Democratic Party. And you know, just read Saul Alinsky, and you see what they're doing. They dehumanize people.
Well, listen, in my circle, I wouldn't tolerate someone talking about a woman that way. I wouldn't tolerate it. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it was... Let me tell you, if someone called in and said that about Mrs. Clinton, I'd be all over him about it. You don't talk that way about a woman. And Eric Swalwell was in studio laughing when that happened. You know, Fang, you know, his boyfriend, you know, well, operative, you know, he's you know. And so Nicole Wallace, Eric Swalwell laugh, and that guy, he should be banned. You know, I remember once Jason Priestley used some profanity on a Fox News interview. He was drunk and probably high, and they banned him from Fox News Channel. They gave him a permanent ban. They lifted it about 10 years later, but because they got new management. But yeah, I mean, there's some. He had a new 90210 coming out that was on Fox. That's why they lifted it. But you know, there's certain things that people do. You know, we've had people say certain things on the air here that have earned them permanent bans. There's some things that you don't allow people to say about a woman.
Yes, and that's definitely one of them. And you know, it's not right, it's not proper, and it shouldn't be done. I mean, what's with the Me Too movement? It's like I said before, it's gone. You know, when it comes to anybody on the right.
Well, the Me Too movement is a fake movement. It's not about any of these things. You know, it's a Democrat organization. You know, that's basically what it is. You know, like all the other groups, NAACP, all of them. They're all Democrat groups. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. All right, take care. 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere. Oh, I got a lot more. We've just barely touched on things today. Steve will be joining us at the bottom of the hour, but we've just begun. We've got a lot more to talk about. And I was talking in the last hour, I'm going to go see Dr. Appleton this week. He rid me of knee pain 2 months ago, and now I have a really sharp, terrible pain in my trigger finger that I use on my mouse when I'm on the computer, and it hurts so bad. It really does. I don't know what I did to it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I jammed it, but it's a joint, and it's a pain. And the laser wave pain system with Dr. Appleton works on any joint and pretty much any pain that you have. And I'm really busy this week. I don't know what day I'm going to head over there or what time of day. But that's cool with Dr. Appleton because appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome. That's right. And he's even open on Saturdays. I'll be in either Friday or Saturday. I don't know when because I got so much going on. But you know what? You can do the same thing. Rid yourself of pain. Call Dr. Appleton. Talk to him about his laser away pain system. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, callers on hold, stand by. We're going to take our break and be back right after this. 0710. Online, Appleton. Yeah, it's this joint right here. All right. That one right there. And it hurts all the way around. Be back right after this. I don't know what happened.
Wake up and smell the truth. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Think you might have COVID? Have you come into contact with someone who is sick? Are you traveling and need a COVID test? Same-day PCR testing is available at any lab test now at Boca in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is. South of Palmetto on the east side of 441. Open Monday through Saturday, no appointment necessary.
Have you put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire.
Beetlejuice isn't the same. Using that kind of language on television, using that kind of language about a woman that he used, that's different. Much different. Oh, was that Lisa Blake that called in?
Hey listener, welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it! There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com. Liberty, 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 liberty.
My son Finn was born with congenital heart disease and spent the first 8 months of his life in the hospital. Starlight Children's Foundation has played an important role in our lives. For 5 weeks as a baby, Finn lived in a Starlight Hero wagon instead of having to sleep in a hospital bed. Starlight provides moments of joy for families like mine at a time where there's very little to be found. Learn more about how Starlight brightens the lives of sick kids by visiting starlight.org today.
Join us for Moments of Scripture, hosted by Jan Coleman every Sunday morning from 6 to 6:30 a.m. We will read the Bible, pray, and offer blessings to all who listen in the name of our Lord and Savior. Moments of Scripture, every Sunday at 6 a.m.
Radio consultants call him the voice of reason. Totally. We just call him Afternoon Dude. Dean Miuccio on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
A sniffle here and a sneeze there. Your first thought is what? Uh-oh, I'm coming down with something. But did you ever think you might not be sick? You might have an allergy. Find out and have your allergies tested at any lab test now of Coral Springs or any lab test now of Boca. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood by the Coral Square Mall. Give them a call, 954-906-59.
Oh, man, I tell you. It's one of those days. Nah, Kathy's having a tough time. When I get off the air today, I got to take her back in. She's having a tough recovery. She's really pretty bad. She's been home for a week, and she's having a lot of problems.
Food allergies. No appointment is necessary. And make sure you mention you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Ready to get fired up? Just 60 seconds and you'll be racing for the phone. 888-GO-KANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve will be joining me at the bottom of the hour. And our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call. And I've thrown a lot out there on the table, and I've only just begun. I've got more to share as well. And you're welcome to call in about anything we brought up so far. Here we are. A week from today, we'll be celebrating the Red Tsunami will have passed. Oh, yes. 1-888-GO-KANE-1 is the number. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Rod. I'm calling from Coconut Creek.
Hey, Rod. What's up? Turn the volume down of whatever device you're listening to me on. Could you turn that down? The delay's causing confusion.
Okay, how's that, Brian?
Okay, sounds better. What's up?
Okay, first of all, I think you're right 100% spot on about the election.
Oh, yeah.
But some out there, and they are outraged at what's going on at local school boards and state levels, and that's going to be they're an uncounted group. You don't hear about them.
I don't know. I was listening to Fox early on this morning, and they're always talking about suburban moms, soccer moms, and all this stuff. This is the thing, and I think this is true in most households. The two biggest issues in this election are gas prices and grocery prices. They're all the same, barring inflation. And in most households, women, they handle the household necessities, right? And women know more than anyone else how much prices have gone up. I don't know how much anything costs at the grocery store. I don't know what a gallon of milk cost. I don't know what a loaf of bread cost. I don't know what a pound of lunch meat costs, but my wife does. And I think everybody else's wife does too. And the inflation's the big issue. That's what's going to affect moms, not Roe v. Wade, not abortion.
No. You're right. But all I'm going to tell you is people are mad out there. They're angry, and they see what's going on in this country, and there's got to be a...
Oh, we very well may have the largest turnout of any midterm election since color television was in American living rooms. I'm serious.
That's true.
Midterm. All right, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Now, just a quick little story here. There's a name. Hold on, let me pull this up. They're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Their October surprises have fizzled. Do you all know who Kara Young is? Kara Young is, you know who she is? She's Donald Trump's black girlfriend, okay? He dated her when he was single briefly. She's biracial. One of her parents is white. One of her parents is black. I don't know. I think her dad's white and her mom's black. And she's biracial. She's black. And back when Trump was running for president and they were calling him a racist, she came out and said, no, I never saw him do or say anything racist. Well, they've found her, and listen to this. This is Trump's black ex-girlfriend.
Her Young was a supermodel back in the 90s. She went out with Trump for a couple of years in between Marla and Melania, those two marriages. And she's never talked about that time together. She's biracial. Her mother is black. Her father's white. And she sits down with me to talk about a comment that's in the new Maggie Haberman book called Confidence Man. There's a quote in there in which Trump is quoted as saying, now he had met Kara's parents, that she gets her beauty from her mother and, quote, her intelligence from her father, the white side, end quote. I asked Kara, did he say that? She said, yep, I was standing right there when he did. She says she admonished him. She said, you can't talk like that. That's mean. And she also talks about some other situations that some point to as evidence that if Donald Trump were to decide to run for president again, some say among the many bits of baggage that he'd have to take into that contest would be the accusation that he's racist. And there are moments that Ms. Young talks about in our conversation in which she addresses that very question. It is very interesting.
Okay, yeah, very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. Now all of a sudden, first she said very publicly she never heard him say anything racist. Now all of a sudden, okay. Now my daughter's biracial. Okay, my daughter is biracial, and she makes racial humor sometimes. And you know, I'm giving up my Starbucks for Mike Lindell's My Coffee, which is 50% off at mypillow.com with the promo code Kane right now. So I'm weaning off this Starbucks coffee. My daughter introduced me to Starbucks coffee, and my daughter was at one time a Starbucks coffee fanatic. Her first job was at Starbucks. Okay, she quit after a while. It's more fun going there and ordering the coffee than working there. It was a terrible work experience, you know, working for those lefties. But anyway, my daughter used to say all the time, yeah, Starbucks, that's my white half. She used to say that all the time. That's my white half that makes me like Starbucks. She used to say that all the time. You know, and so far as this comment, you know, sometimes the truth's somewhere in the middle. This woman, I'd never seen her before. I've heard of her. I knew Trump had a black girlfriend, and I don't remember seeing her before. But she's a good-looking woman. She's good-looking now. She was better looking then. And I don't know anything about her parents. Her dad's white, her mom's black, and her dad, may be a very smart man. Maybe he's a college professor. Maybe he's a successful businessman. And maybe because she's such a knockout, her mother's a knockout too. Is it racist to say that you get your intelligence from your dad and your looks from your mom? All of a sudden that's racist? People say stuff like that all the time, right? I mean, how many times as a parent has someone said your son or your daughter gets their good looks and good manners from their mom? How many times have you heard that, right? So to say that you have a quality from a parent is not racist. And I do not believe that President Trump said you get your smarts from your white half. I just don't believe that. You know, if that's true, why did she come out and say when he was running for president the first time that she never heard him say something racist in her life? They're really scraping the bottom there. This season of October surprises from the Democrats is the most pathetic October surprise collection I've ever seen. January 6th fizzled. Herschel Walker helped Herschel. That fizzled. And now this. You get your smarts from your dad and your looks from your mom. I've heard that said so many times about children, about their parents. You get your looks from your mom. You know, how many times have you heard something like that? Now all of a sudden that's racist because her dad's white? Give me a break. All right, our number, these people just are desperate. I mean, that's what it is. They're desperate. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Now, when we get back from the break, I've got so much stuff. I've only just scratched the surface, okay? And there was a rally. I know I have this. I'll get it during the break. I don't have it. Oh, yes. Okay. I don't have time to play this before the break. After the bottom of the hour break, I got a piece of audio for you you do not want to miss. Biden came to Florida yesterday. Yeah, I know. And he had a southern accent. You know how long it's been since I've heard someone from Florida have a southern accent? It's been like since 81. I came to Florida in 81 on vacation one summer, and I heard someone with a southern accent. But they had a Val Demings Charlie Crist rally. And some of the things that were said will blow your mind. Wait till you hear this. I'm going to play this for you when we get back from the break. Don't go anywhere, okay? You're not going to want to miss this. The Val Demings, I don't know, can you call these things rallies? Gathering. The Charlie Crist, Val Demings, Joe Biden gathering yesterday is where this happened. I can't call it a rally. It's a meetup. Steve Kane will be joining us as well. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and be right back. Don't go anywhere. Is where this happened. I can't call it a rally. It's a meetup. Steve Kane will be joining us as well. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our bottom of the hour break and be right back. Don't go anywhere. Steve Kane Show. Oh, hey, John. Oh, my goodness. Let's see.
All we can offer is DBUGO.
Yes, I know. Some of the things that the Democrats are doing on television now are so pathetic. I don't feel bad for them, but you almost feel bad for them, don't you? Florida Highway Patrol have Southern accents? Really? The Florida Highway Patrolmen do have Southern accents. I'm just thinking about that. Now that you say it, the Florida Highway Patrolmen do have Southern accents. By the way, I'm going to order the My Coffee today. Go to mypillow.com. If you'd like to support the program and all of my content, go to mypillow.com. 50% off Mike Lindell's coffee, the My Coffee, and you get a free My Pillow Go Anywhere travel pillow when you use our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. I'm going to order that today when I get off the air. That's a pretty good deal. Yeah. PJ just texted me a photograph of his neck after he had 10 needles stuck in it. I just deleted the text. I texted him. I said, I don't need to see that. Why do people do that? That's gross. That is just gross. Why did he send me that? Have you all liked the video, by the way?
What's the best product I bought this year? Oh, that's easy. Salon Paws pain relieving patches. The proven medicines in Salon Paws patches reduce my pain and let me do the things I need to do every day.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salon Paws reported
No, we're halfway through.
and the ability to work. They had less pain.
Well, thank you very much.
Their use of oral pain medications.
For pain, I use Salon Paws. It's good medicine.
If you're one of my Patreon supporters, I put a Halloween video of some kids on my Patreon page for Patreon supporters. You got to go watch it. It is hilarious. It's like the Halloween costumes of the year. Much better than what they did on The View, I promise you. Well, thank you, Witchy Brain. Those likes help a lot. The likes, when you like the video, it tells the YouTube algorithm to recommend this video and my other videos to people that have not yet found my channel or content. So it helps me out so much, guys, when you go and like the video. Thank you, everyone who did that. Did they announce who the ethics board is, JP? I haven't seen the people announced yet. Let me see. Because I didn't think they announced who was going to be on it. If they announced who's on his ethics board, I'd like to know. Likes disappearing? I've not had that problem. It's our bottom of the hour break. We'll be back in about a minute. Miami? Miami? Is that how the Highway Patrol say it? Miami? All righty, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Hey, Steve. Oh my goodness, I'm doing well. We've got callers on hold, and I've only scratched the surface of my show prep this morning. We've been very fast-paced, and I'm just going to make a brief announcement that's unrelated, but I got to broadcast this, and and this is to PJ. PJ, he called in and said he had 10 needles stuck in his neck yesterday at the doctor. He sent me a picture of it, okay, and I deleted it and told him not to send me that stuff. And now he just sent me another gross picture. One more text, PJ, I'm going to block you from being able to send me text messages on my cell phone. I don't need to see gross pictures, especially when I'm on the air. Boy. All right. So, yeah, I've only scratched the surface, Steve, of what's going on out there. But the Democrats are getting desperate. Have you heard any of the audio I've played so far this morning?
I've heard it in and out. Most of it.
Okay, all right, good. Well, let's take a call or two, and then I've got another doozy. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine. Good morning.
Oh, hey, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
I find it very weird that a week before that Trump's ex-girlfriend is speaking up.
His black ex-girlfriend.
Right, but I'm wondering, if that really happened, she would have said something to her parents.
She defended him in the first campaign and said, I never heard Donald Trump say anything racist.
And she said he's never been racist. So did someone get to her to coerce her into do that? And I got one more question. Was she coached, or was the interview cut up and...
Well, I think it is possible that he said you get your looks from your mom and your smarts from your dad. And that is possible.
It comes under the heading of a joke.
And I've heard that joke told, variations of it in many different times with parents and stuff. But what they've added, Deborah Norville was there. What they've added was, oh well, the dad's white, so he's saying that she got her brains from her white half. I think they added that part.
Yep. And why a week before the election?
Yeah, and you know the thing about racist, I don't know. I mean, I've known racist people, okay, and I'm sad to say that there's a couple in my family, you know, but you can't help who your family are, and I've known and I've come across anti-Semites too. On the line, because of the line of work I'm in, but when someone's a racist or an anti-Semite, they don't just make a random comment. This is part of their regular discussions. You hear they make racist, anti-Semitic comments regularly, and they have no filter, and they don't even know that what they're saying is offensive, you know. So all of a sudden, out of Trump's 70+ years. A woman who said she never heard him say something racist came out with something all of a sudden, and we've never heard another example or seen him. Come on, it's a joke.
Yes,
it's a joke, and it's desperation.
And she was an ex-model. They said she's an ex-model. Maybe she got some more modeling work.
And I bet you that if he did say it, and there's a chance he did, it was tongue-in-cheek, it was a joke, and she laughed.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, take care, Jeff from Maine. Appreciate the call. So Biden came to Florida yesterday with a Southern accent. All of a sudden, borrowed it from Hillary Clinton, and because everyone in Florida has a Southern accent. Yeah, I haven't heard a Southern accent from a Floridian in a long time, but Biden, you know. But anyway, I don't want to call it a rally, because this was Biden, Val Demings, and Charlie Crist. I mean, we had, and I'm not kidding, we had many times as many people at Wings Plus, okay? Just when you and I are over there having lunch. I'm not talking about the DeSantis event. You know what I mean? Okay, so it was a small gathering of close friends, and they brought out on stage, this was in Miami, an actress named Jennifer Lewis, who I've never heard of before. She's black, and she's an actress, and she was in Sister Act with Whoopi Goldberg. I looked her up online, and she came up to introduce Val Demings, who's the Democrat running for Senate against Marco Rubio, and she came up, Steve, with the most bizarre introduction and attacks on Marco Rubio. Listen to this. This is at the Val Demings, Charlie Crist, Joe Biden meetup yesterday. And this is this actress, Jennifer Lewis, introducing the Democrat, Val Demings.
Val Demings will win. She will.
Now, by the way, she's like 17 points behind right now, Val Demings, just so you know. But listen.
Val Demings will win. She will win. She will win. So
now, Steve, you're going to hear the race card played like you've not heard it since Johnny Cochran was defending O.J. Simpson in that murder trial. Listen to what she does next.
So I say to Marco and all those other weak men.
By the way, Marco Rubio's wife is a Miami Dolphins cheerleader, okay? So I don't know what kind of weak men are married to Miami Dolphin cheerleaders, but anyway.
So I say to Marco and all those other weak men. Before you lie to us, remember Rosa sat on that bus.
Okay, Rosa Parks, by the way, is who that is for you Democrats out there.
Before you lie to us, remember Rosa sat on that bus. Your tale. Remember Mandela sat in that jail. Before you do anything, you remember Dr. King. I dare you to Google Emmett Till.
Okay, Emmett Till, of course, I don't have to Google him, was lynched by some Democrats. Okay, so Emmett Till, Mandela, Dr. King, and Rosa Parks, that's what I call the Black SOS, okay? She left out George... she left out George Floyd, and who else did she leave out? I don't know. She left out George Floyd and others, but I know it's true. The Black SOS, and let me tell you, when Obama was running for president back in 2008, I used to watch American Idol, the first couple years of American Idol. And, you know, on American, I haven't watched it since like back then, but on American Idol, they start with hundreds of people and they whittle it down. And if you're in the top 10, you want to get in the top 10, because if you're in the top 10 on American Idol, even if you wash out after that, you get to go on the tour that they used to do, a U.S. tour. And you make a lot of money. And there was this one girl, she was fighting this night to get in the top 10. She's black. It was 2008, Obama's running for president. She had the worst performance. It was like I got up there and started singing. It was really bad. She had a terrible performance. She goes up there, and Simon Cowell and Paula Abdul and the other judge, I forgot his name, they like, you're done. That was awful. You're done. Now back then, I don't know how they do it now, viewers got to call in and pick who your pick was. She had this awful performance. The judges ripped her, and then Ryan Seacrest asks her to comment on this, and she yells out, "Obama! Obama!" And I said, that's the Black SOS. She's in trouble, so she started, this was 2008, so she started, that was like, black people, I'm in trouble, I'm going to go home, vote for me. That's what happened with Val Demings yesterday. She's double digits behind Marco Rubio. She thought she had it wrapped up, so they're playing the race card. I'm surprised they didn't mention George Floyd, and it's the Black SOS ain't going to help. I'm sorry. Val Demings is going to lose. And they also forget that Marco Rubio is Hispanic. They're accusing him of being white. He's Hispanic. He's a protected class minority group too. So I mean, if they were running against some old white Republican, it'd be one thing. But they're running against a Cuban. It's a very strange event they had, Steve, for Val Demings, wouldn't you say?
Oh, unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. I know, isn't it? Oh my goodness. I'll tell you though. Do all your Christmas shopping at MyPillow.com. Use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. There's a new special for the first time ever at MyPillow.com. Mike Lindell has his own coffee. It's called My Coffee. There's a huge special. When I get off the air today, I'm going to order it for myself. Mike Lindell's My Coffee, by the way, comes in whole bean, ground, or even the Keurig cups. However you want it, okay? And different size bags and quantities and everything. With our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, 50% off Mike Lindell's coffee. 50% off. This special just went up this morning, first time ever. It is limited. Get Mike Lindell's My Coffee for 50% off. It makes a great Christmas gift, stocking stuffer too, with the promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And get this, you get a free My Pillow travel pillow, the Go Anywhere pillow. I have some of these. They're great. You get the free My Pillow travel pillow and 50% off the coffee, but you got to use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at MyPillow.com. It's a great deal. Take advantage of it. All right, we'll take our break, last break of the hour, and be back. But you got to use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, at MyPillow.com. It's a great deal. Take advantage of it. All right, we'll take our break, last break of the hour, and be back.
Polarizing talk show hosts in all of South Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig, morning 6 to 9 on Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
An honest auto mechanic, you probably don't think they exist, but one does. Eddie at Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. He works on all makes and models, new, old, classic cars, even hybrids. Champagne Automotive Repair is the official mechanic of the Steve Kane Show. Call 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. Make sure you tell him you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show.
Anne Marie's Pizza and Wine Company. Family owned, family operated. Where Grandma Carrie Ann herself is in the kitchen. Amazing pizza, sizzling Philly cheesesteaks, salads, pasta, subs, and much more.
I've got so much to get into. Oh, yes. I'm going to get into the diesel fuel next. Oh, another new member. Who do we have here? Frank! Welcome as a new member. Now you got all the emojis. Take advantage of the emojis. Welcome, Frank, as a new member. And you get your name in green now and you get all the emojis. I got my ears lowered. Oh, I got a haircut. Yes. Took me a second. I haven't heard that expression in a long time about the ears being lowered. I'm sure that Kitty has heard that joke many times, Stealth. Let's see.
Brian Craig here. You've heard me talk about how Dr. Appleton has rid me of knee pain with his laser away pain system. Let me introduce you to Dr. Appleton.
I had a new patient on Saturday, came in with sciatic leg pain. She lifted something wrong on Saturday. She said, "Can this help me?" And I said, "Sure." And we did the laser on her on Saturday. On Monday, she returned, and she said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." The joy of doing this all these years is helping patients, and the laser is just an amazing tool that I use to help people with acute, chronic, young, old, golf, tennis players, NBA, football players, male, female, it doesn't matter. The laser will help. And once we finish patients up, I never hear from anybody. What I do hear from them is the referral, the family, the wife, the cousin, the nephew that comes back. And that's the biggest joy.
Give Dr. Appleton a call at 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And say bye-bye to your pain.
Smarter than 95,000.
No, we're coming back.
Get smarter with the Steve Kane Show, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. You know, Steve, 2 months ago now, Dr. Appleton rid me of my knee pain. It has not returned after just 2 treatments. And I got another pain now. I got another pain, and this one is bad. It's really bad, too. It's my trigger finger. My trigger finger, you know, yeah, and I think it's from being on the computer because it's the finger that I use for the mouse to hit the button on the mouse on the computer all the time. The middle joint on my trigger finger it's been in pain for a couple it is massive pain too. A little joint on a little finger, and it's in a lot of pain. Every time I move my hand, it's just sharp. That's right. It's every time I move my hand, I'm in pain. And I don't know what I did. I don't know if it's using the computer too much. I don't know if I jammed it, but I do know this. I'm going to stop into Dr. Philip Appleton and have him look at it with his laser away pain system. You know, the laser away pain system with Dr. Appleton works on any joint, and this is a joint, and it's in a lot of pain, and it hurts all the way around it, and it's a sharp pain too, and I can feel it in my eyes. It's like lightning, electricity in my eyes every time it happens. And I'm not sure because I got a lot going on when I can make. You okay, Steve? Maybe Dr. Appleton can help with the cough too. I got a lot going on, so I don't know when I can stop by Dr. Appleton's, but that's okay because walk-ins are welcome and appointments are not necessary, and he's open 6 days a week, the 6th day being Saturday. So, well, you can show up whenever you want because you don't need an appointment. And that's what I'm going to do. Whenever I can fit it into my schedule, I'm just going to show up at Dr. Appleton's office and say, hey, I'm here. And by the way, the laser away pain system works. I know it works because he rid me of years of suffering from knee pain, and it has not returned at all. It's amazing. After just 2 treatments with his laser away pain, I did one on Thursday and a second one on the following Saturday, like 2 days later, and boom, gone, didn't return. And I saw results the next day. It's amazing. So I know he'll do well by my massive pain in my little finger. Give Dr. Appleton a call. Laser away pain works with any type of pain, not just knee or joint pain in the finger. His number is 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonChiro.com. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. All right, I got it, and I hate to share these stories because this is scary. I got an update on the diesel shortage. Diesel fuel. Remember about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we heard the diesel, we had like a 20-some day supply. That was like 2 weeks ago. So we got like maybe a week, 10 days left. If that by that count, listen to this. Desperate truck drivers, and you know, everything we buy is driven around by semis, right? Desperate truck drivers have revealed the pressure of skyrocketing diesel prices, while suppliers warn some cities may run dry on diesel for days. Diesel per gallon jumped close to $2, with prices going from $3.63 to $5.31. Gas prices have seen a much-needed decrease at $3.75 per gallon. However, it did rise 35 cents. According to the American Trucking Association, the trucking industry hauled 72.2% of all freight transported in the United States last year. And the association registered 38.9 million trucks used for business purposes, including the government and farm workers. Representing 24% of all registered trucks are diesel-powered in America. And this is where all the over 70% of our goods are transported. 44.8 billion gallons of fuel was consumed, and the shortage, I guess we got maybe 12 to 14 days left. One driver said, it's taking my company 30 to 40% of expenses just for the diesel. You know, gasoline is a commodity that's, I'm not an economist, okay, but I took economics 1101 and 1102, all right, so I know a little bit. But oil, gas is a commodity, and one of the biggest factors that determine the price of it is the supply in the market and the market's future prediction of the supply down the road, right? So the prices have gone so high because they're expecting, if there's a shortage and they expect it to run out in some of these cities. So just this company, he says, is taking 30 or 40% of their expenses are going just to diesel now, which means they got to be losing money, but they continue to run because they don't want to lose the client, right? Diesel prices right now, this is another driver, diesel prices right now are very high. It's harder for companies to make money with these prices. The rates have dropped, so you're not really making the money you were making before. Now the rates to drive freight have gone down. So the freight driving rates have gone down. The diesel has gone up. Company team drivers are typically paid 48 to 75 cents per mile per week. Solo drivers will see a 40 to 64% cent per mile that they're paid. Owner-operators see an average of 94 to $1.79 per mile. And this is just hitting them hard. One driver remarked they would have to drive further to see any benefit from an average day because fuel prices have contributed to increasing their costs so much. We need to drive 400 to 500 miles more a day just to break even, which means the roads are unsafe. They're not resting. Well, and several major cities are expected to run out of diesel. This is insane. And I don't know too much about diesel. I've never had a diesel vehicle. But I always thought sometimes people have diesel vehicles like in their private cars because they get better mileage. It used to be cheaper, but if they run out of diesel, Steve, how do you get groceries to the grocery store? How do you do it? You can't do it. It's like having a hurricane or blizzard.
Just negatively. And
supply. You know what it'd be like? I remember when I lived in Ohio, we had a big blizzard in 77, 78 over New Year's. Some of you guys may have been through that blizzard in other places, right? Like New York or something. And I remember going to the grocery store after the blizzard. There was nothing, no bread, no milk, nothing. They had no supplies. I mean, because the trucks couldn't get through. Now, without a natural disaster, the trucks can't get through because there's no fuel for them. They're out of diesel. I mean, before they couldn't get through then because of the snow, right? Now they won't be able to get through because there's no diesel to fuel the trucks with. How can the country be wrecked so fast? How can Biden be that incompetent?
I think the answer is in your question.
Yeah. No, Steve, it really shows you, even these incompetent presidents like Obama or Clinton, who was busy with other things, it shows you how much of a role even these lazy guys played because we didn't have these kind of problems when they were in office, right? Bill Clinton was more concerned about, hooking up with Lewinsky and Eleanor Mondale and stuff.
I got to tell you, one of the things, of the many things that Biden does that absolutely infuriates me is when he takes the situation that exists today, which is strictly his fault, and tries to blame it on the oil companies. Yeah. It's just, or the oil companies or whoever. I mean, he's got a whole list of scapegoats, that he'll beat up on, whether it's the war.
Mm-hmm.
There's always somebody else to blame, never his decisions. And of course, the cruel irony is, it's all a result of his lousy decisions.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. Now, I'm going to tell you a decision that you all will never regret, a great decision, and that is to have lunch or dinner at Anne Marie's in Pompano. Steve and I were talking, when we had our first meal, in fact, our first couple of bites, we were already talking. We went and ate at Anne Marie's before we started telling you guys about Anne Marie's. We wanted to sample the food and make sure it was good, and it's spectacular, and everything's homemade with Grandma's recipes. Grandma's in the kitchen. It's absolutely amazing. But this is not like restaurant food. This is homemade mom's Italian cooking. I mean, isn't it, Steve? You had one of your wives was Italian, right?
Yes.
One of them.
Funny.
Yeah. So you know. I mean, this is homemade, at home Italian mother cooking that most people have never experienced. These other restaurants around, Their cooking instrument is the microwave. Everything's frozen and microwaved. These are homemade right there in the kitchen at Anne Marie's. But you know, if you stray away from the typical Italian dishes, which is difficult to do, there are some other options. And let me tell you something that is out of this world good, Steve. I've had one, and it's spectacular. That's the Philly cheesesteak. Oh, my goodness. Now, before we went to Anne Marie's the first time, I was told by someone, you got to have the Philly cheesesteak. And I'm like, well, this is an Italian restaurant. I'm going to have the Italian food, not the Philly cheesesteak. Oh, boy, Steve. You want the Philly cheesesteak. You want the Philly cheesesteak. Oh.
Best pizza in the world.
Oh, yeah.
I am so spoiled as I can't eat pizza anywhere else because nothing is.
Well, the other places aren't pizza. You know, I'd forgotten what real pizza was like, and let me tell you, their pizzas are spectacular. Their crust is out of this world, but the Sicilian is the best Sicilian I have had in the state of Florida. I've never had. I've tried. I love Sicilian pizza. I've had. Oh.
They use a sausage that is hot sausage, which is unusual because usually on pizzas they put the bland stuff. But it's so tangy and so delicious, and I also get it with the cheese crusts.
Oh yeah.
What do they call that with the cheese?
Cheese crust.
Cheese crust. Yeah, I know it was something like.
Yeah, fancy. No, and you know what? That's homemade too. And if you're into wines, they have a great collection of wines. In fact, they have a wine club. And I'm not a big wine drinker, but one of our sponsors gave me a bottle of wine as a gift from Anne Marie's, and I drank the whole bottle by myself last weekend. It was so good, and I'm not even a wine drinker. It was red wine. It was so good, Steve. Oh my goodness. So if you're a wine drinker, you'll find some great wines over at Anne Marie's too. Listen, they're located in Pompano on the northwest corner of Copans Road and US 1 Federal Highway in the same plaza as the movie theater. They have live entertainment on the weekends too. They're open for lunch, dinner, and takeout, closed on Mondays. Lunch specials till 2. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. All right, we'll be back for the final hour of the program today. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. Don't go anywhere. Lunch specials till 2. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. All right, we'll be back for the final hour of the program today. I'm Brian. Steve Kane's here. Don't go anywhere.
The new Oldies 95.3 and 96.9 is here. WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station.
Oh, man.
Now, here's the True Oldies weather forecast.
Good day, everybody. Here we go. Middle of the week. The heat continuing. 86 to 88. The range this afternoon. We'll see partly cloudy skies. There's just a slight chance of a fast-moving shower. I'm WPVF 25 first warning meteorologist Sandra.
Other good time oldies lovers. Facebook and Instagram at Oldies South Florida. True Oldies.
Oh yeah, I got some more. Did you guys know that crime is actually down under Biden? It was on The View yesterday. Wait till you hear this. Crime is down under Joe Biden. It's true that, yeah, it's on The View. I'm going to play the audio and get back. These people are out of their minds.
Deerfield Beach into Boca. More slow traffic on the Turnpike north and southbound passing Lake Worth Road. Also on the northbound side of the Turnpike, some slowdowns passing the Beeline Highway. As for the service streets, a multi-vehicle crash on 10th Avenue north at Sierra Drive, Lake Worth Road at Congress Avenue, Military Trail north of Lantana Road. This report is sponsored by Racetrack. Craving a tasty pick-me-up? Get a donut from Racetrack and don't forget the coffee. It's only $1 when you buy any Krispy Kreme donut. Now that's a sweet deal. Racetrack, whatever gets you going at participating locations. See store for details. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Here's your True Oldies ABC News update.
ABC News Now, I'm Jay O'Brien. Nearly 24 missiles launched by North Korea this morning off South Korea's eastern and western coasts. The North says they're in response to South Korea and the U.S. conducting military drills. The South responding by firing 3 of its own missiles into North Korea's territorial waters. Get ready for another interest rate hike from the Fed, a 0.75% hike expected today, the 4th hike in a row.
The Fed rate hikes are biting the economy.
Oh yeah, Hochul says crime's down. The View says crime's down, so it must be down, right? All those people getting pushed to their death in front of the subways, that's just not happening. That's CGI, right?
A not not guilty plea for the suspect in the hammer attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband, 42-year-old David Depop, in court yesterday with a dislocated shoulder suffered during his arrest. His plea denies he broke into the Pelosi home in San Francisco looking to break the House Speaker's kneecaps, but allegedly attacked her husband instead. This is ABC News.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health.
By the way, guys, don't forget, go order your My Coffee at MyPillow.com with our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, 50% off. All right, here we go. And you get the free travel MyPillow.
Call in 888-GO-KANE-1.
Hello.
You'll thank us later. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we're back. Final hour of today's program. 1 week from today, we'll be on the air celebrating the red tsunami and the blue flush. I can't wait. Okay, so you know those videos you've seen, Steve, in the news of people being pushed to their death on the subway platforms? Fake news. No, crime is down. Crime's down under Biden. Crime's down. No. I saw it. It was on The View. Listen, this is Joy Behar in the Coven of The View. Crime's down, and they've researched it. Listen.
All they do is talk about crime. Well, I looked it up. Murders in major cities have fallen by 4% so far in 2022 compared with the same period a year ago. So crime is not on the rise. It's actually going down under Joe Biden. What?
Wow, see? The crime's going down under Joe Biden. That's The View. No, it's true, but I need to have multiple sources to confirm that crime's going down. I can't go to just one source. Journalists need to have, a second source, an independent source. So I've gone to the governor of New York, Governor Hochul. This is Governor Hochul.
Right now, these are master manipulators. They have this conspiracy going all across America to try and convince people that in democratic states they're not as safe. Well, guess what? They're data deniers. The data shows that shootings and murders are down in our state by 15%, even in New York City, down 20% on Long Island, where Lee Zeldin comes from.
Wow. So crime and murder is down in New York City, Steve. That's the governor, Governor Hochul. So I got two sources, and they're both in New York. So, I guess the Republicans are, they're putting fake news out there of people being pushed to their death. Maybe homicides are down by guns, but homicides by subway train are up about 500%, okay? I mean, gee whiz. It's true. No, but it's true. I mean, these people, I don't know, are they lying or are they just believe the rhetoric?
A word, yes.
Really, you think they believe the rhetoric? You think Governor Hochul thinks that crime is down in New York City?
These people are so battered by this experience that they're having of having all their power taken away that they can't even think straight anymore. Who knows what they believe and what they don't believe? They could well believe a lot of propaganda.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they sound pretty desperate. I mean, that's some hardcore stuff. Now,
Country song, don't believe you're lionized.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I've heard the expression.
Lionized.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, yeah. Well, I was talking to you yesterday. You saw these people with the Venezuelan flags on the southern border invading America?
Huge.
Oh, yeah.
Flags.
Yeah. I don't know what the Venezuelan flag looks like. I saw it on TV and they said those were Venezuelan. Let me tell you, this is one of the biggest scams going on right now, okay? And this whole Venezuelan thing is, how do you tell the difference between a Venezuelan and a Colombian? How do you tell the difference between a Venezuelan and a Mexican or a Panamanian? How do you know? They all speak, Brazilian, they speak Portuguese, so you can do something there, but By the flag.
Flag there, Karen.
Well, okay. Yeah, by the flag. Here's the okay. This is one of the biggest scams going on. I picked up on this a few weeks ago when Ron DeSantis, just a terrible person, put these migrants on private jets and flew them to the wealthiest community in America, Martha's Vineyard. They were all Venezuelan. And then when Governor Greg Abbott sent those buses of people to Kamala Harris's house in D.C., Fox News was there. Every one of them, they said they were Venezuelan. Here's the deal, okay? If you enter the United States illegally and you're from Venezuela, you immediately are allowed to stay. You get immediately, because it's an anarchy, communist dictatorship. So you're escaping political oppression. You have sanctuary in the United States. All you got to do is speak Spanish and say you're from Venezuela in Spanish, and you're in. You know, that's it. Remember like the wet foot, dry foot policy with Cubans, Steve? Same thing. So they're all saying they're Venezuelans, so they get to stay in the United States. They're here. They get the immediate status, and they hook you up with the Section 8, the foods, the EBT card. They get you get the whole kahuna. All you got to do is have a flag, a Venezuelan flag, and say you're from Venezuela in Spanish. They do due diligence. You got to say it in Spanish, and you're here. That's it. I mean, it's such a scam. That's why they're all from Venezuela. Oh my goodness. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once, twice. All right, that was the Democrat response. But it's a big racket, Steve. And I saw these people yesterday. They were pushing the Venezuelan flag a little too hard. I don't think they were Venezuelan. I would ask them. I'd have to look this up and know, but I'd ask them some questions. What's the capital of Venezuela? What are the states in Venezuela? Which one are you from? Who were the past 4 presidents? They're probably the same guy, but you know, I mean, you gotta have something. You know, like I remember. The Canadians got some of the Americans out of Tehran. Remember, some escaped the embassy. The Canadians got them out. They smuggled them out as Canadians because we look like Canadians. And they spent weeks educating them on the capital of Canada, who the prime ministers are and all this stuff, in case the Iranians at the airport quizzed them on Canada, they would know some of these answers, you know. And they don't do that at the southern border. You're Venezuela, you got a flag, you're here.
Well, I think you're going to see a pretty quick change when the election results finally settle in, because I think the changes are going to happen fast.
Well, the Democrats still control the White House.
Yes, but if it is in fact a wave election like they're talking about, the Congress is not without power if they have a strong enough majority.
Well, they can cut off the money. They can cut off the money.
Yeah, exactly. The power of the purse.
By the way, the latest poll in Arizona, Kari Lake is up 9 points, 53 to 42. In Arizona.
We're getting now to where these polls are maybe more meaningful, because it does appear to be a trend, which is what you're looking for at this point.
Well, Joe Rogan said yesterday, he said the red wave is going to be so big, it's going to look like the elevators in The Shining.
Oh, that's nice. I remember that scene.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Yeah, so it's going to be a good one. We'll be celebrating. Yeah, we'll be celebrating. Oh, my goodness. You know, did you see the Supreme Court? They're going to throw out affirmative action in college admissions?
Lord.
Who would have thought? Roe v. Wade, now that.
Well, but just with what the reaction they had with Roe v. Wade, can you imagine if they reversed affirmative action, what they...
Well, I was listening to this discussion, and the media, the liberals are just in a meltdown, throwing out college, what they're going to throw out are college admissions affirmative action quotas, not affirmative action elsewhere, like at the post office. They have affirmative action. They can't hire white people. right, at the post office, or the DMV apparently, unless you're a veteran, then you got a chance. But they're going to eliminate affirmative action when it comes to college admissions. And what I'm thinking is this: why do you need affirmative action when it comes to college admissions? If there's one place that is 100% liberal paradise, the liberal utopia, it's the American university system. Since the American universities are all liberal, all run by liberals, shouldn't everything just be perfect so far as the racial balance? Why do you need affirmative action in college admissions, the liberal utopian places, unless the liberals running them are racist? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, huh?
It's screwed up.
Yeah, it is. All right, listen, if you're on hold, callers, stand by. I'm sorry we didn't get to your calls in a timely manner there, but we're up against the break, and we'll take some calls after the break, okay? Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. I'd like to know, you can comment on anything we brought up this morning, brought up a lot of stuff, but why do liberal universities need affirmative action so bad? Everyone at the university is a liberal, so they should have perfect percentages of every demographic there is and every gender and everything else, unless they're racist at the liberal universities. All right, and none of these conservative pundits brought that up during all these endless discussions yesterday. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's here. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our first break of this hour and be right back. None of these conservative pundits brought that up during all these endless discussions yesterday. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve's here. I'm Brian Craig. We'll take our first break of this hour and be right back.
The Steve Kane Show, telling it like it is, whether you like it or not. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to make a plan and know your zone. In the case of an evacuation, have a plan to go to a hurricane shelter, hotel, or stay with a family or friends. If you're ordered to evacuate, you need to leave. You can rebuild your home, but you cannot rebuild your life. This hurricane season, know your zone. Know your home. Learn more at floridadisaster.org. This message is sponsored by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth water. Wings Plus, located in Coral Springs, a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive results should be followed.
Oh yeah, somebody asked me if, on Twitter this morning if I would pay for the blue check mark. I think everyone should pay for the blue check mark. The blue check mark people are in a panic. They think they're better people. And there was one person that I saw who was upset about it yesterday, who's typically not political, Marcus Brown. You know Marcus Brownie here on YouTube? He does technical YouTube videos. He's upset about it, right? The blue checkmark people think that they are a superior person, that the rest of us that are not verified with the blue checkmark are not real people, that we're not adequate up to their level. It's a class system. I think everyone should pay for the blue checkmark for at least a month to make their blue checkmarks irrelevant. Just do it, you know? Just for a month. All right, we're coming back.
Join us as we celebrate our president, Donald Trump. Make your reservation right now, 561-244-5779. No liberal stowaways allowed.
Grab your coffee and get ready to be triggered.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. Steve is here. I was talking earlier, Steve. If I were in Paul Pelosi's position, or my wife was in Nancy's position, and everyone in the country said that I was beaten with a hammer by a gay male prostitute that I invited into my home, and the trick turned bad, those rumors would have already ended, because I've got the Sloman's doorbell camera that has night vision as well as high definition video day and night. It records everything that goes on, and I would go to my doorbell camera, get the video footage of this guy breaking down my front door, and I'd have it up on YouTube and all my social media to show everyone, no, I didn't. It wasn't a trick with a gay male prostitute that went bad that got me hit in the head with a hammer. It was a man who actually broke into my home. And by the way, if you would like to get a doorbell camera from Sloman's, call them. I'm going to give the number in just a moment, and mention you heard about them on the radio, and they'll tell you how you can get one for free, okay? And it'll change your life. Obviously it makes you more secure. You can see who's at your door no matter where you are. It does have night vision. It records. You can have it hooked up to the alarm system. You can even talk to the people at your door, even if they don't ring the doorbell. It's absolutely amazing. And you can let people know who to look for, who really broke in, and who was invited in your home as well. Here's the number. Again, mention you heard about them on the radio. No matter where you're listening to us, by the way, call Sloman's, and they'll tell you how you can get a free doorbell camera. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. Okay, so Fetterman, he gave an interview to Don Lemon. Don Lemon interviewed Fetterman, and they had two deep discussions on two important issues. One, Twitter, and one, inflation. So a lot of people say he's unfit, he's brain damaged. The debate, he was nervous, Here is Don Lemon interviewing Fetterman, and they're discussing inflation.
Well, let's talk about inflation, because that's a big concern for voters. What do you think the biggest cause of inflation is, and should the Biden administration be doing more?
No, I just do. I think that simply is also let's talk about the trillions in massive tax cuts to the corporate tax structure as well. True, trillions of dollars that have added to the deficit, and now they still want to support those as well. True. I think in terms of being very serious about addressing inflation is making sure that those rates are brought back into a line with what they should have been, where they're able to fight the deficit.
Yeah, there you go. That's Fetterman. Does he sound brain damaged, Steve?
Campaign.
Yeah, he
A campaign of those quotes.
Yeah.
That show how incapacitated Fetterman is.
What are you saying? You couldn't understand his solution? He just gave the whole Fetterman inflation solution plan right there. Okay, so then, this is, it is scary, yeah, and he's better than Biden. Okay, now here's the second one. Don Lemon, very important. Elon Musk has taken over Twitter. Here's Fetterman. All you people who say he's brain damaged, are you listening to this? This guy's got all the answers. Here's Fetterman talking about Elon Musk and Twitter.
What is your message to him as he takes over this giant megaphone that is Twitter?
No, I just am really just about just saying that I just want to make sure that we use your enormous power to just make sure that we don't have the kind of platform where we push those kinds of theories. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity to just say that given that we have this opportunity, just using the platform to really be about a force of good.
All right, there you go. He's got that all settled too.
I'm hoping they know this. If I figured it out, you hope the pros in charge of the Oz's campaign have figured this out. But that's all they need to run. Just a total campaign featuring Fetterman, making speeches which suggests the solutions to the problems, like that last
Yeah.
drop we just heard.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that Don Lemon.
It's over if they do that.
Yeah, but you know,
I wanted to figure that out.
well, I would hope it's already over. But you know, Don Lemon there, I'm going to credit him for this. He exposed Fetterman like I've never heard him expose a guest ever in an interview that he's done. Don Lemon. He did. Yeah.
Turn on the mic.
That's all you got to do. Don Lemon. You know, that is, this guy, he's a victim of his wife who has, he is sick. You know, when you've had a stroke that bad, you've got to rest, and you've got to rest your brain. And being out there, he could have a massive stroke at any moment because he's the stress of the campaign, the humiliation of that on a regular basis, but just the activity could cause a major stroke, and that'd be it for him. But his wife, well, you know, she doesn't care apparently, just like Dr. Jill Biden, you know, who's guilty of elder abuse. You know, they have charged this guy in the Pelosi case. They charged him with elder abuse. What's going on with Jill and Joe? That's elder abuse, and I'll tell you, there's some type of disability abuse going on with Fetterman and his wife, too. You look at that. You look at this. I mean, I've never seen such abuse as we're seeing with these two guys.
All this discussion they're having about whether Biden should run again.
Oh my goodness.
It's ridiculous. But I mean, if you took it seriously, if you were running a campaign against Biden, all you would have to do is run sound bites of Biden's response to questions. And that would be the whole campaign.
Yeah. And yeah.
Be like, not unlike that last bit we just heard from.
Oh, that was pretty bad. Now, Joe Biden came to Florida yesterday. I've got some clips of Biden. Let me get to these. If you're on hold, stand by. Let me see here. Let me pull up a couple of them. Here's Biden with a weird Southern accent. Okay, here's Biden talking about inflation. Just like Fetterman, he's got all the answers. Here's Biden yesterday here in Florida on inflation.
And they talk about inflation. You know, we're dealing with it for the whole second. Inflation is a worldwide problem right now because of a war in Iraq and the impact on oil.
See that? He said inflation's a worldwide problem. There's a war in Iraq. The war in Iraq's been over for years. And he said that the war in Iraq is causing inflation. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Vinny from New York. How you doing, guys?
Oh, yeah, crime. Well, Vinny, we heard from Governor Hochul in The View, crime is down in New York.
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't know, but I think I think they can make a mental health commercial with all these Democrats. The ones that are not showing that they need mental health, and there's ones that really you can see that there's an issue. But yeah, New York, the crime's not down. It's terrible.
No. The governor said crime is down in New York and in New York City. She said it's down.
No, I heard that. I heard you guys earlier. But yeah, you can't believe that. I mean, that is.
You know, one of the things that I've noticed a lot, it's been a slowly growing awareness as my news sources are pretty focused on New York. I mean, I get the New York Post every day, and most of what comes out of Fox comes out of New York, and you don't get as many gun stories as you used to. What you're getting is an steadily increasing number of knife stories.
Not really.
You notice that? It's like the bad guys have said, okay, you don't like all this gun shooting and all that, we'll lay off the guns. We're going to cut people to shreds now below the surface of the streets.
Wait a minute. See, this is breaking news. Sir, sir, caller, you're in New York, Vinny. You're telling me in New York you can walk into any store without a background check or waiting period and buy a knife?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, we obviously need common sense knife control legislation.
The sharp ones.
Yeah.
Joe, well, they used it years ago. I remember as a kid, we used to buy the old buck knives. You used to have the 4-finger rule. Like the blade.
Oh, you know, I looked at the. Hey, Vinny, I'm sorry, we're late. We got a break. We'll be right back.
As a kid, we used to buy the old buck knife. You used to have the 4-finger rule. Like the blade.
Oh, you know, I looked at the. Hey, Vinny, I'm sorry, we're late. We got a break. We'll be right back.
Tired of boring mornings? We serve controversy with your morning coffee. The Steve Kane Show. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9. Alexa rocks, and now so do you.
How can I help you?
Just say, Alexa, play Oldies South Florida.
Okay, playing it now.
Now, you've got the good time oldies, 95.3 and 96.9. Now, here's the true oldies weather forecast.
Good day, everybody. Here we go. Middle of the week. Continuing 86 to 88.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just got a text message. I'll read it to Steve. Somebody left me a comment on YouTube. Let me see if I can find it. About Tudor Dixon. See if I can find it.
I-95 southbound at Linton Boulevard, a multi-vehicle crash is blocking one center lane. We're starting to see some stop-and-go traffic formally approaching the scene. It's almost back to Boynton Beach Boulevard. We also have stop-and-go traffic on 95 heading northbound from Deerfield Beach into Boca. More slow traffic on the Turnpike north and southbound passing Lake Worth Road. Also on the northbound side of the Turnpike, some slowdowns passing the Beeline Highway. As for the service streets, a multi-vehicle crash on 10th Avenue north at Sierra Drive, Lake Worth Road at Congress Avenue, Military Trail north of Lantana Road. This report is sponsored by Racetrack. Craving a tasty pick-me-up? Get a donut from Racetrack and don't forget the coffee. It's only $1 when you buy any Krispy Kreme donut. Now that's a sweet deal. Racetrack, whatever gets you going at participating locations. See store for details. That's traffic. I'm Chris Barr.
Eagle Eye Protection Services for all your firearm and security patrol service needs. Receive personal firearms training, including concealed carry for you, your friends, your neighbors, by professional instructor owner Mike Broader. G-licensed security classes offered every week.
Oh man, I got so much stuff. I mean, there's so much good news today. I'm kind of going through it quickly. Well, I had something happen at home last night, and so I've been up since 11:30 at night. I've been up since 11:30 p.m. So I did extra show prep. So
Let me introduce you to Dr. Appleton.
I had a new patient on Saturday.
what are the ones for? I missed what's going on with the ones.
She lifted something wrong on Saturday. She said, "Can this help me?" And I said, "Sure." And we did the laser on her on Saturday.
What are the ones for? What am I missing?
She said, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." The joy of doing this all these years is helping patients, and the laser is just an amazing tool that I use to help people with acute, chronic, young, old, golf, tennis players, NBA, football players, male.
Trump love, yes. One is for Trump love. Absolutely.
I never hear from anybody. What I do hear from them is the referrals, the family, the wife, the cousin, the nephew that comes back to me. And that's the biggest joy of my life.
Give Dr. Appleton a call at 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710.
That's one for Trump love, yes.
Say bye-bye to your pain.
This is Steve Kane. I want to tell you about my favorite restaurant in all of South Florida, Wings Plus in Coral Springs. Wings just the way you like them. Plump, tender, and delicious, crispy on the outside, succulent on the inside, everything homemade, nothing comes out of a can. Dozens of specialty sauces that will make your mouth
Pay attention. I got to do a radio show. I can't pay attention to everything that happens in the chat. That's why we have mods.
south side of Sample Road.
Oh yes, those are all the member emojis.
Genital heart disease and spent the first 8 months of his life in the hospital. Starlight Children's Foundation has played an important role in our lives. For 5 weeks as a baby, Finn lived in a Starlight Hero wagon instead of having to sleep in a
Oh, by the way, I mentioned earlier, I have a new mailing address for the radio station. I put it in the description. It's a West Palm Beach address. The Boca address is no longer our mailing address because we're moving. Well, they're moving me
by visiting starlight.org
to another studio.
2023 MAGA Cruise is right around the corner. We leave January 28th.
Yeah, Kathy, my wife, made all those emojis.
Lauderdale. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. And then St. Kitts. With exclusive events just for our group. Fine dining together every night. Cocktail parties. Shore
Oh, you're welcome, Jeff.
board activities. And a whole lot more. On the line is
from Cruise and Travel Depot. Ian, why should listeners book right now?
I blocked this group space during COVID, during the height of the pandemic, so we got some incredible deals.
Call Ian right now and lock in your cabin. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. Join us as we celebrate.
Yeah, right now I'm thinking about what I'm going to talk about when we get back. I got a couple things here.
561-244-5779. No liberal stowaways allowed.
It's hurricane season, and if you have a wet spot,
I took the break late. Kathy's having a lot of complications from her surgery. That's what's keeping me up last night, and she's having a lot of complications. Unfortunately.
604-4602, and tell him Steve Kane sent you.
Now,
Oh, we're coming
back
back.
to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane is here. Our number 1 888 Goo, Kane 1. Oh, I had a. Well, I'll tell you more details about this on a future show. We have a new sponsor joining us here on our radio station. I had a most amazing experience yesterday. Remember, I was telling you, one of the biggest problems I have in my life is that I'm constantly dehydrated, and I told you we need to get a sponsor that does the IV therapy that helps you get hydrated and healthy. Well, we have a sponsor joining us here on the radio station very soon that does just that. And yesterday I got this. You're not gonna. I had an IV therapy yesterday, Steve. So I'm like the most hydrated man in Boca. But then I went and had. I'll tell you more about this when I learn more about it. But then I did something I never dreamed of doing. I had this cryotherapy experience where I was in 250 degree below zero temperatures in a little bit of a rehabilitation therapy session. I cannot wait to tell people about all of this. It's incredibly exciting. I haven't felt cold like that since I lived up north, and it was absolutely amazing. It woke me up, I'll tell you that. But we'll tell you more about that in the future. But it was a great experience. But I'll tell you, being hydrated, I have so much energy right now, Steve. You have no idea, because when you're dehydrated, it makes you tired. All right, now Joe Biden. You know much about his past, Steve? His youth growing up? Well, we're learning stuff all the time. Listen to this. This is Joe Biden. He was here in Florida, and he was talking to black college students that are at a black college in Florida, and we learned something new. Listen.
It's great to be at Florida Memorial University, one of the nation's great HBCUs.
Okay, what did he HBCUs. I learned this new thing here. Historically Black College University. That's an HBCU. Historical Black College University. Okay, but we learned something about.
They still had those.
Well, I don't know why they have racially segregated colleges today. You were the first Jew that went to your college, weren't you? Or the only Jew? Yeah. Really? Even the professors? Really? There were none of the professors were Jews either?
No.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So
know every professor on this. This is a small school.
they made a movie about you. They made a movie about you in college with Brandon Fraser called School Ties, if I remember correctly. Ever see School Ties? That's the Steve Kane story. I'm serious. But anyway, no. So this is. I'm serious. I'm serious. So anyway, now let me play this though. We learned something new about Joe Biden. He's at an HBCU, a historical black college/university.
It's great to be at Florida Memorial University, one of the nation's great HBCUs. I'm a big fan of HBCUs. I got my start at one of those other HBCUs, Delaware State University.
Okay, yeah. Joe Biden said he started out going to a black college. Delaware State. Now, of course, he went to University of Delaware, not Delaware State. He forgot where he went to college. But he said that he started college going to a black college. You were the only Jew at Rollins. He was the only white guy at Delaware State.
I see. I'm sitting in Campbell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Isn't that something? He went to a black college.
to Rollins, I mean, we don't want to get off on this, but when I went to Rollins, there was active anti-Semitism going on. When I say active anti-Semitism, I remember this is just a scene that will stand out in my head forever. I was thinking, I had, my room was in the independent men's dormitory, and which was pretty much where everybody stayed that didn't belong to a fraternity, and I don't think they took Jews in the fraternities. I think that's why I didn't.
First of all, see, how do they know you're a Jew? By looking at you. How do they know?
Didn't seem to have a problem figuring it out. You know, there were just a couple
I guess.
ones in those days. But anyway, I remember walking into a room once. A couple of the guys were sitting around socializing or whatever it was, and one of the guys whose room it was got up and slammed the door in my face and said, "Get out of here, Jew."
You sure he didn't say, "Get out of here, you"?
Get out of here, Jew, Jew.
Yeah.
Jew.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my. That's something. Yeah. So.
Trouble.
Well, you and Joe Biden were groundbreakers. You were the first Jew at Rollins, and he was the only white guy at Delaware State because he went to a historically black college. That's it. That's amazing. We learn something about Joe Biden every day. Oh my goodness. You know, this guy, he just can't help himself. He cannot help himself. Okay, now, did you see Mrs. Clinton came out of the rat's hole? Hillary Clinton said that American voters may not really understand the stakes of the upcoming midterms, arguing that GOP gains in Congress could have dire consequences. Clinton made the remark on an interview session with Joy Reid over at MSNBC, who asked Mrs. Clinton whether she believed voters grasped what Republican majorities in the House and Senate would mean. Mrs. Clinton replied, "I think that with all of the noise that we've gotten in this election season, I don't think people are able to grasp that. But more importantly, I'm not sure they really understand." Now, of course, Mrs. Clinton's voice is much deeper than mine. I know, I don't do a good Hillary. But more importantly, I'm not sure they really understand the threats to their way of life. They may think that whoever's chairing a committee, she added. Clinton continued by arguing Republicans are going to put Social Security and Medicare up for a vote. Oh, they brought that old talking point back from the 80s. I haven't heard that since Bob Dole was in office. If they retake majorities in Congress, they're going to put Social Security and Medicare up for a vote. Yeah. You know, well, Rush Limbaugh always said that the Democrats have that one old tired playbook, and the same plays and the same talking points come out of that same old playbook, and it's been so long since she's been on an interview and talked politics. She's using rusty old talking points about Social Security and Medicare.
I think I want to see more of Mrs. Clinton.
Oh yeah, she's great. You know, Hillary Clinton, who is not one to look into self-reflection, you know, Hillary Clinton would have been the president of the United States, the first female president and all of that, if she would have left her husband during the Lewinsky affair. You know, when she went on television and with Matt Lauer, who liked to lock women in his office and abuse them, right? No, not Hillary. Hillary had no problems. When she said, you know, this vast right-wing conspiracy against my husband and all that, at that moment, she knew Bill was messing around their whole marriage, but she didn't think that he did it with her and what they were saying. She really believed that, or she wouldn't have been so stupid to go on TV. When she found out that the Lewinsky story was true, if she would have walked out and left Bill, she would have gained so much respect that she would have become the president. And she would have become the president in 2008 instead of Obama. But because she defended this scumbag, sexual assaulter, abuser of women, and also went out to destroy the lives of the women who came forward and said they were abused by her, she lost so much respect from people, even in her own party, that she never had a hope of becoming president. That's it. I mean, if she'd have left Bill, she would have been president in 2008, easily, not Obama.
All that other racial baggage and
yeah.
monger, I mean. ill aside, she still had all the other crap that she ran at.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. You know, I met the Clintons twice. Once before he was president and once during. And
And you said you told me, I'm going by memory here, but
Yeah.
were you the one who told me that they had, that Hillary had yellow teeth or green teeth?
yeah, she had yellow teeth and she smelled like a smoker. And I've never seen Hillary smoke, but I was, you know, I talked to Hillary and I shook hands with Hillary. She's got a firm grip, Steve. It's like you're shaking hands with a man, but she looked and smelled like a smoker to me. Yeah, no doubt about it. And the ankles are wider in person, by the way. The ankles are smaller on TV. Yeah, but you know she's a bitter old lady, and she's just never gonna understand what really happened. That's true. That's true. All right, listen, our number is toll free 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. We're going to take our last break of the program, come back with the Gold Report after this.
The longest running radio show in the state of Florida. The Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig. Oldies 95.3 and 96.9.
All right, and it's time, as we do every day at this time, to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated right here in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how are the metals looking today?
Look good. The rally continues after yesterday's night gains of $14.50 on gold, closing out the day at $1,648.10. We were even up higher at one point yesterday. Silver gained 46 cents at $19.59 the ounce, while platinum gained $20 at $946, and palladium was up $40 at $1,822 the ounce. This morning, as I said, the rally continues. Gold up $7.90 at $1,856 per ounce. Silver up 21 cents at $19.80. Platinum up $9 at $9.55, and palladium up $3 at $1,825. Markets continue to trade pretty much in similar ranges, but now we're at the higher end of those ranges that we've been in for quite a while.
Yeah, but still a good time to buy because I'm telling you, everyone's predicting financial collapse and after Biden, and the metals are where you go for security. Couple questions, William. You know, you talk to us sometimes about which coins and bars you recommend because people can get more metals for their money. When people are buying coins, gold, silver, platinum, does it matter if they buy a variety of coins, if they're buying gold or silver or platinum for investment, or should they buy like the same? Like if they come in and buy the Australian coins, should they just buy Australian, or is it okay to mix and match with whatever you get the best deal on?
It's perfectly okay. Gold is gold. It really doesn't make a whole lot of different pictures on it, although you want to pick popular products that are easily tradable, but there's a host of different products, and we have a lot of people that just love to get some variety and turn their bullion and their financial insurance policy into a little collection that they can enjoy owning and buying. They can get many different beautiful gold coins from around the world and still have the same protection of bullion. So
yeah.
At all. I mean, if you're trading thousands of ounces or hundreds of ounces of gold, usually it's easier to have at least a good chunk of it in one main product. So when you're buying or selling it, you have basically a number. But when you're dealing in lesser amounts of gold, then certainly add to it. Get different things will do on some of those coins.
Yeah. Okay. So when people come into you and they've got 30, 40, 50 coins, it doesn't matter if there's a mix match. You hear that, guys? All right, listen, give William Youngerman a call. He opens up weekdays at 10 a.m. His number, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com, or stop right in. His address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road, right here in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building. Just immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. If you can stop in, you should. It's a museum over there at William Youngerman's, and all these cool things he talks about, the 100-ounce bars of silver and all. He's got beautiful display cases. You can see it all. All right, William Youngerman, we'll finish. Oh, no, not finish. We'll talk again tomorrow, and then we'll finish out the week the day after tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day. Thanks.
All right, getting like Fetterman. All right, we'll be right back.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, we are back. Oh man, see, getting like Biden and Fetterman, Steve. Getting my days of the weeks mixed up. Well, I've been up since 11:30 last night. I've been up since 11 p.m., 30 p.m. So it's been a long day. All right, 1-888 go Kane 1. Okay, I got a question from a listener before we go to the phone, Steve. That was off the air. Someone messaged me. Okay, when we were talking about Anne Marie's earlier, we were talking. One of your wives was Italian, and so you had that homemade Italian cooking. They asked, was Steve's Italian wife the wife that left Steve for Abe Vigoda? Was the question.
Abe Vigoda was never in my...
No, she left you from for somebody else in The Godfather. What was his name? I couldn't remember his name.
And I've blocked that out. It's been so long since I thought about it. Who's the guy?
I know. I'm just making you suffer. Alex Rocco. Who'd he play in The Godfather? Mo Green. That's right. I'm Mo Green. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, Steve. No, that's true. Steve's wife left him. Not his current wife, one of his exes, left Steve for Mo Green from The Godfather. Remember, he got his throat slit, Yeah, not Abe Vigoda. I mean, oh my goodness, Abe Vigoda. Who? That would have been a rough day, Steve. If your wife left you for Abe Vigoda, oh my goodness, that would be rough. That'd be a rough one. Abe Vigoda was in Barney Miller. He played Fish in Barney Miller. Yeah, exactly. Oh my. I can't remember his character's name, but oh my goodness, I'd be embarrassed for you.
Character, right?
No, Mo Green was the right one, but not Abe Vigoda. I can't remember his name in The Godfather. All right, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Alex Rocco.
Yeah, Alex Rocco. Yes. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, hey, Joellen.
So last night I heard that Mike Pence had a rally with Brian Kemp. I don't know if you heard that.
Was it really a rally? How many people were there?
I'm not sure what it was.
I mean, a Trump rally, 50,000, average. Or maybe it was a gathering of people, maybe.
Okay, all right. The other thing is I saw on the cover of South Florida Times Reverend Dozier, and he was bashing Trump.
What? What did he say about President Trump, O'Neill Dozier?
They were talking about Herschel Walker, and then he was saying, they were hypocrites, and I didn't read the full article at the grocery store and buy it.
What paper was it in? What paper was it in?
South Florida Times. It's just a
Oh, that's a black newspaper. That's a black newspaper. Yeah. Remember our friend Steve was Elgin Jones was with that paper, the black newspaper. Oh my goodness.
Saw before. I think probably.
Reverend O'Neill Dozier was a Reverend O'Neill Dozier. We haven't talked to him in years, but I always thought he was a friend of ours. I guess he still would be, but he used to be a black Republican. When Jeb was governor, he was appointed to Judicial Nominating Commission by Governor Bush when he was the governor of Florida. We used to have him on the show all the time. He used to play in the NFL. We used to have him on the show all the time.
In church?
You and I went. It was the only time I've been to service in a black church, and it's unlike anything I've ever experienced. It's everybody should do it once. It's very different. And we used to have him here on the show, and he would tell people on the show, he would tell callers, you can't be a Christian and be a Democrat. And we got a call about a week ago from one of our listeners who goes to his church, and she's a Trump person, was telling us that he's become a Democrat and he trashes Trump. After the election, we'll reach out to him.
Everything's about money, so they probably got to him off of
Something.
to start. Yeah.
Something. There's something about that. I'm very disappointed in that. That's rough.
And in the.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, Reverend O'Neill, it's not easy to be a black conservative in a Democrat town. Broward County, you know, Reverend Dozier's church is in Pompano. Broward County is a Democrat stronghold in Florida still, and it's more corrupt than Cook County, Chicago. Okay, so to be a black Republican is not always easy to be in Broward County, and there, yeah.
Commodity if you are a black conservative, because everyone, you know, you have the ability to. Blacks are very generous in their giving habits when it comes to matters of faith, and so they're targets for. Well, you know, I gotta tell you, and I don't. Steve and I haven't talked about this too much, so I guess we can talk about it on the air, Joellen. That to have Reverend O'Neill Dozier in studio would be a very difficult and uncomfortable show for me. You know, I'm so upset about it and disappointed, and to have him in studio, it could get very rough, and the callers. Myself, I don't speak for you, but I'm just fascinated as to how it developed. I mean, there's great stuff to talk about.
Well, Steve, yeah, I'm not talking about getting mean or anything. I'm just talking. It's just. Listen, Steve, we've had. Oh yeah, I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him after the election and invite him in. Okay, when the election stuff is over, I'm gonna invite Reverend O'Neill Dozier in. Steve and I have already talked about that. But you know, the thing about it. I mean, I remember, Steve. We've had top. I don't remember. It's football, Steve. You know me and football. But you know the thing about this stuff. We've had top Democrats in here and big men that you've brought to tears being nice. You know, I mean, remember that guy that was the school teacher that taught civics? We had this Democrat in here. He was on the front page of this. By the way, Joe Allen, thanks for the call. This Democrat, he was on the front page of the Sun Sentinel, and he taught civics and American government at a high school in Broward County. We brought him in here. Yeah, he was he was the union steward at his school. This guy was a big guy too. He was about 6'6", big guy. Oh, you know, when you shake hands with him, he squeezes your hand to hurt it so because he's so tough. And you had him in tears. Now remember, he taught high school social studies and American government, and you asked him, he was talking about the Supreme Court. You asked him to name the members of the Supreme Court. He named Clarence Thomas and some justice by the name of Scalise. He was trying to say Scalia. And by the end of the show, this 6'6" man who was a big guy, I mean a big guy, he had a tear. And he had a tear coming out of his eye at the end of the show. Remember? I'm not exaggerating. He had a tear coming out of his eye.
Television, the guy, he played a detective. I think it was on Law and Order. Oh, God.
Jerry Orbach. Chris Noth.
He's known for saying it's the questions. And
yeah.
The promo that they did for the show, it's those questions that, you know, that get them every time.
Oh, that was brutal. I don't know who you're talking about. Remember Gay Jay? Oh my goodness. We had a guy in studio who, I hate to tell the story because he had full-blown AIDS. He's probably no longer with us. But he was the HIV gay educator at Broward Community College, and we had him on the show, but he wanted us to agree not to mention gays while we were discussing AIDS, and
confuse anybody that think that the gay sex had anything to do with it.
And he had a tear out of his eye at the end of the show too, and it was just, you know, so it's one thing. So what I'm telling you is, it's one thing to put some of these liberals through the treatment of just being polite and asking questions. I just have a certain level of respect, as you do with Reverend O'Neill Dozier, and I don't know if I have it in me to do that show. Okay, all right. Let's take a call or two before we say goodbye. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm from West Palm Beach.
Hey, Marianne.
So Mo Green got shot in the eye on the massage.
That's correct.
Oh, he didn't get his throat cut? He was shot in the eye. You're correct, because of the glasses. And that's who Steve's Italian wife left him for.
Heard the whole thing.
Yeah.
Steve, you know, you're a tough guy to put up with him.
That's true. I mean, there's no question.
Me or Alex Rocco? Which one?
Lori and I have been married for 40 years. We had a period where we were split for a while, and then we found we couldn't live without each other. And
But I'll tell you, it was a previous wife who left Steve for Alex Rocco. But I'll tell you this: Steve will not take this as a compliment, but it's true. There's a resemblance. You and Alex Rocco resemble one another. You could be related. So your Italian wife had a certain taste in men, the Steve Kane, Alex Rocco look. All right, take care. Take care. Thanks so much. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry I brought it up. Well, listen, that's it for today. Callers on hold. I'm sorry we didn't get to all our calls today, but we'll be back here tomorrow. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Steve, of course, has been here. My name is Brian Craig. And don't forget, you can not only listen to us on the radio, but also, Alexa, play Oldies South Florida. Alexa, Volume 6. There you go. You can listen to us there, too. Oh, man. I didn't even get to all my show prep today, but that's okay. We'll be back tomorrow, and more is going to happen because the Democrats are... Yeah, the Democrats are very desperate as the red tsunami and blue flush approach. God bless America, and of course, always, God bless Donald Trump. See you tomorrow. Democrats are very desperate as the red tsunami and blue flush approach. God bless America, and... All right, guys, listen. I got to run.